And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Marjorie Taylor Greene is finally out. I called for her to leave earlier. What was that, this month, last month? I don't even know. But a few weeks ago, I said, she's got to get up out of here, and she's out. Why is she doing this? Is it because of Epstein and the Jewish space lasers? Is it because of that or something else? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have a so-called conservative version of Jussie Smollet that makes absolutely no sense. But it makes perfect sense when you think about it from a different perspective than what may be the mainstream media narrative. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got Trump in the Oval Office with Zohran Mamdani. People were shocked. I'm so amazed that Trump was able to have a cordial meeting and be nice to somebody that he doesn't really like that much when you're talking about politics. Wow, imagine that. Imagine politics not having to be so not down, drag out all the time. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have a couple, husband and wife, over in Michigan who built a plumbing empire harboring 250 or so illegal aliens. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Plus, we got a whole lot more going on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got quite a bit to talk about Marjorie leaving. That is so funny. Listen, I told y'all about Marjorie. I told y'all she had to go. I told y'all she's an opportunist. And it's so weird. I feel like I'm seeing or feeling some sort of psyop right now. This whole, America first, as some kind of independent group. Yeah, which I want to be a third party. Like, I hate that. That's the kind of rhetoric. Hey, ask someone who supports the Nick Fuentes and the Marjorie Taylors, all these people, talking about something, they're going to do a third party. Like it's not already more than two parties in the country. Democrat, Republican are the two most popular ones that all the normies know about, but there are probably hundreds more. I mean, some of the more obvious ones, the Libertarian Party, the Green Party, Democratic Socialists like a Zohran Mamdani, allegedly. There's a bunch of different parties that exist. And some parties even have members in office, like the Libertarians. Rand Paul, I believe, is a Libertarian. There are other parties that exist. The problem is you got to be able to work with those who are already in Congress, and that's going to be primarily Democrat or Republican. Who are you going to caucus with? Who are you going to join to get things done? You can't just make changes by yourself as a politician. You have to be able to coalition build. You got to be able to find those who are going to do things with you. It's a collaborative effort. It's not a singular thing where you could just do whatever you want. That's just not how it works. So when you think you're going to have a brand new party, okay, what are you going to do? Who are you going to run? How many of you will there be? What are you going to do once you actually get in office? What's going to be your objective? What's your game plan? What's this person's background? Who do you have that even speak for you? Who are your lobbyists, your representatives? Where's your team of people, your lawyers? What do you have as far as infrastructure? All you have is just rhetoric. In my humble opinion, Marjorie is angling herself as the voice of the third party, trying to run that way, but she could never impact an election at all. I would never in all my days of living, I have never in all my days of living, and I will never into the foreseeable future ever vote for a woman. Now, if I got gun to my head and I have no choice, I mean, what am I going to do? I ain't trying to die, but I'd rather not. I would much rather not. There's a reason why Marjorie is polling, or was at one point polling, 20 points behind the Democrat Senator Jon Ossoff in Georgia, which is a red state. Let's not get it confused. We can talk about Atlanta and Raphael Warnock, Jon Ossoff, all these people, but Georgia is Georgia. It's a red state. Once you leave Atlanta, all the You're in Georgia. Even Atlanta is Georgia. This is what Stacey Abrams had to realize. Pardon me, I gotta get my microphone just right. Stacey Abrams had to realize that running an anti-gun campaign in Georgia, even if you want to appeal to Atlanta, it's not going to work, because Atlanta, everybody got a gun. You go to a nice fine dining restaurant, you got guys in there open carrying, and it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. But you don't always see that everywhere in every city you go to. Georgia, Atlanta specifically, is very pro-Second Amendment. It don't matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe. So, Miss Greene, if you're polling 20 points behind a Democrat in Georgia, which is a red state, and you're a Republican, it's something wrong with you. And when you're not really in an area, it's kind of hard to see it. I got guys squabbling at me talking about, oh, no, she's America first. I live right here next to her district. Her district is literally right there, right outside my window. It's right there. So I live here. People are not broken up about this. They're not broken up about this. And the same thing about Brian Kemp. And it's funny how, Marjorie pulls the whole I'm a woman card when it comes to being, quote unquote, attacked by Trump. Brian Kemp got, quote unquote, attacked by Trump relentlessly after the 2020 election. And Brian Roethlisberger, did it stop them? Did it stop the good old boys from running Georgia and running like a machine? It sure didn't. It sure didn't. Brian Kemp didn't cry about it. Brian Kemp didn't get on TV talking about, oh, I'm in danger and I got to get Secret Service and blah, blah, blah. What he kept doing was leading and running Georgia efficiently as he had been doing it, which is why he's respected down here by blacks, whites, everybody. Democrat, Republican, Atlanta, way out the sticks. Everyone respects him. That's why Marjorie, people don't respect her. They know she's not very intelligent. She is good to go and vote for the MAGA agenda, but when you want to get beyond your station, when you want to elevate to a place where you shouldn't be, people are going to put you in check on that. They're going to put you in check. Some guys and girls I might like to be in the government. I like Anna Luna from Florida. And part of the reason why I like her is because she is more honest than most people, and she has no stocks. Unlike Marjorie, who became a millionaire from stock options when she became a part of the government, when she was married to her previous husband that she was with since 1994 and just got divorced like 2 years ago when she became a congresswoman. When she was with him, he was a campaign treasurer, and somehow 3.5 M's came up missing. 3.5 popped up missing. Where'd that go? And she was worth $400,000 before coming into office, now worth 22.5. Anna Luna has no stocks. But Marjorie got plenty stocks. Talking about I ain't taking no check during the shutdown. Do you need a check? Miss, I got all the stocks in the world. Miss, I may have gotten some of that 3.5 early. Miss, I'm doing podcast appearances and I might do a book. Do you need your government check? Not really. Not really. It's not really no big deal. You kind of like Trump, where he can donate his check because he has money. I'm not trying to take from y'all. Go ahead, take that. And not just a piece of the check, but he donates the entire check. You donate one check, or you say, I don't need one check and it's okay. Please be serious. And then you know what? I don't even believe that, because what we found out is that January 5th, 2026 would mark 5 years and 2 days after she was first inaugurated, which entitles her to a pension from the government. So you and I, the taxpayer, will pay for her retirement when she get to be 63 years old. And people are going to say it ain't that much money. It's like $10,000 a year. Well, to an average American, that's a lot of money. And I'm sure that somebody hit her up and said, you know what, Marjorie? Hey, if you retire right at this time, you'll get that pension, versus if you retire right now. So what you want to do? All right, let me go ahead and retire at that perfect time. I get my pension and then I'm out. Because she could have just said, I'm not going to seek re-election like Nancy Pelosi did and go out that way. And Nancy Pelosi, about 1,000 years old. You got Marjorie quitting at like 50-something, 40-something years old. A quitter, a loser, a hater, a woman scorned, soft. And you know what? This generation of people, men and women, not all. You guys are perfect. You guys are the best people in the whole world. Y'all know that, but y'all know what I'm talking about. A lot of these mouth breathers who exist in this world and in this country specifically, they're soft. They get easily offended. They make irrational, emotional decisions. I think we're seeing that from Marjorie, because what's the end game here? The president, listen, if you ever get close to the presidency, I'm out. And as a matter of fact, if there's like a serious talk about her becoming president and there's like real motivation behind people voting for, if that is a thing that I experience in my lifetime, it's over. If she gets anywhere near the presidency, the republic we once knew and loved is officially dead as a doorknob, dead as dead can be. 6 feet in the dirt, it's a wrap. At that point, it's like, well, what do you do? I'm going straight to Nigeria, first class. I'm going to Nigeria, first class. I'm going to be done with America. No more American accents, no more passports, no nothing. I'm out of here for good. So yeah, Marjorie. Hey, and the craziest part is that people say that she's America first, but you hiring illegal aliens for your construction business. What part of America first is hiring slave labor to work for you? What part of America first is fighting against deportations? The biggest issue of Trump's campaign this past time, 2024, was a migrant crisis. That was the entire thing. That was the biggest problem, in my opinion, that we faced as a nation. She goes on TV and says, nah, I need my illegals. I need my illegals. Huh? I heard that, man. I was floored. Flabbergasted. All my flabbers had been gasted when I heard her say that on television. I'm like, you got to be out of your mind. You got to be out of your mind. Like, I expect that to come from a liberal voice, but from a conservative, a MAGA, it doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense whatsoever. And then people say, you know what? We got to have the migrants because they do jobs that Americans don't want to do. I've heard from so many people, so many working people in this country over years, not just recently because of what's going on, but since I started 2015, even before then, just being in the streets. People have always complained about having to compete with migrant labor. That's always been an issue. Always. It's unfair to American citizens. If you're an American, we should be on the same page as Americans. When you're bringing in the illegal aliens and those who are kind of sketchy with their background to work here, it creates a problem. This is how Rome fell. This is kind of like the way Rome was at the end, because Rome was full of slave labor and regular labor. And that was a big reason why it fell, because if the economy is based on slave wages, slave jobs, then what are the people supposed to do for work who are not slaves? Okay. Or must you become a slave in order to survive and maintain yourself? Is that what's going on? I thought we outlawed that in this country. I thought it was a whole big war. It was constitutional amendments. I thought we've already gone through that phase in this country. Why are we trying to go back? What's really going on? I have faith in the country. I think we can get past all this nonsense that's happening, because really, there's always been illegals to a certain extent, or there has been over the past few years, but nothing like what's going on right now. Nothing like it at all. Okay. Is MTG an insider trader? From what I was able to see, it looks like it. I'm not going to say that she was, because she might try to sue me. You know, they love suing. Oh, that's their new thing now. Whenever they get unfavorable press, they try to sue to silence the person who is relaying the information. But I can just look at her net worth, 400,000, and now it's like 22.5. And I've seen some of her stocks that she has. It's pretty interesting when you have certain stocks that, and the thing about being in Congress in general is that it's okay to insider trade. Basically, it's allowed to a certain extent. Now, whether you do it or not is a matter of personal preference and your personal conviction toward doing that, because you know it's not the right thing to do, because you're a lawmaker and you have the ability to legislate rules that will impact the stock market. And you know that before the general public does. So you have a competitive edge over the regular person. That, in my opinion, should be considered insider trading. Now, whether it is or not is a question of legality. But I think it's pretty obvious. If you have the ability to legislate, meaning you can write laws, you can create rules that affect the stock market, and you buy stock based on that, that's called insider trading. And if it's not, I can't tell. I mean, what else could that really be? What else could it be? You let me know. And that's my question. Somebody asked me, ABL, where did MTG get 25 million? That's my question. What does she do for a living? Does she have a book out? Is there a movie? Is there a podcast? I mean, I've seen her do some recent appearances on podcasts, but it ain't nothing going to get her $25 million. I don't think going on The View would get her that kind of money or anywhere near the money that she would need to make consistently to be able to generate 25 million in net worth. So what's really going on? Marta Allen says, Christmas is fast approaching. And what do you want? I want to not hear about the Epstein files. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I feel the exact same way that you feel. The Epstein files has been completely wearing me out. I am done. I am done hearing about the Epstein files. It's a nothing burger. They keep talking about stuff and never anything comes out. And let's be clear. This man been dead since 2019. 2019, he dead. It's 2025. It's 6 years later. How long will this drag on? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? After a little while of the whole Epstein drama, I was done. And that was many years ago. I feel like it's a ghost that won't rest. It's like literally beating a dead horse. Literally. That's kind of what this is. It's enough already. If you're going to do something, do it. If you're not, then don't. If you're going to do something about the Epstein files, do it today. If you're not, how about this? Shh. Just zip that lip right on up. I don't want to hear nothing. Zip the lip. Quiet. I don't know the other languages. Okay. Siéntate. That might not be quiet. You know what I'm talking about. Just do that. That's pretty much universal. I'm finished with, and Dr. Epstein. Yeah, I saw that. So did you know, the guy, Dr. Epstein, he went ahead and did an interview with Hannity. So if you guys don't know, and we'll get to Jasmine Crockett and her thing with Epstein. And the craziest part about Jasmine defending what she did, which was saying that a member of Congress, I forget who it was, Lee Zeldin, she said that Lee Zeldin got campaign money from Jeffrey Epstein. The problem is the Jeffrey Epstein that she's referring to gave the money in 2020. As I told you earlier, the Jeffrey Epstein of infamy was dead in 2019. So it wasn't the same guy. And the real guy did an interview, and we're going to get to it. Y'all remind me if I forget, because I got my show set up. You're going to show Jasmine what she said, and then I may get to the actual living person, Jeffrey Epstein, who is not the dead guy with the island. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Beth says, you've been following ABL for longer than that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know I love you guys for being here, rocking with me for a long time. I appreciate that 100%. Okay. Hold on. Observer says the Epstein files like the Macarena. Just when you think you never hear it, boom. Exactly. You think you're done, you never hear it again, and then it just pops right back up. It's like really the Macarena in 2025. Imagine it's like 2032. You go into some Tex-Mex bar or something like this, and you hear, it's like, really? 2032, we still doing this? I'm not doing a dance, okay? If I hear the Macarena, I'm gonna try to ignore it. I'm not doing no dance. Hey, what if you were a group and y'all go to a Tex-Mex bar or something like this, and everybody in the group gets up and does the whole Macarena dance with you there? Are you gonna sit down and just eat your chicken fingers and your onion rings with your ranch dip or your French onion dressing dip? Or are you going to join the crew and do the whole dance with the are you like, what are you gonna do? But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. You got Jasmine fatigue, you guys. I get it. I've not done a lot of Jasmine videos lately. I show her a little bit during the live stream because I don't think she's going anywhere either. The same way that Macarena ain't going nowhere. The same way the Epstein file's been around for forever and ain't nobody released nothing yet. She's not going anywhere either. She also has delusions of grandeur, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene. She might want to be a senator in Texas or a governor and then maybe become the president one day. I swear for everything. If we get either one of them, meaning Marjorie Taylor Greene or Jasmine Crockett or AOC or any of them anywhere near the White House, it's over with. It is over with. Talk about the Three Stooges, freaking frat, Dumb and Dumber, thing 1, thing 2, thing 3. That's them. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Okay, that's kind of what's going on with that. Darkwing Duck, Robo Duck. That's that crew right there. Morons, idiots, mouth breathers. Jasmine, BAP. Hey, BAP. Have you ever seen the movie BAPS? If you've not, go ahead and watch it. I know it's an old movie. ABL, I'm 18. What's BAPS? Go watch it. And when you see it, you're going to see Jasmine right there. That's not who I want to be in the White House, a BAP. I don't want no BAP. I don't want no bartender, a soccer mom. I want a man in there that does not mind punch you in the face if he has to. Give me the strong man, not a dictator. ABL wants a dictator, not a dictator, but someone who is strong in their convictions and is not easily led by their emotions like a Marjorie is. This is an emotional tirade that's happening right now, and it's affecting politics. We don't have time for the emotional tirades. We don't got time for the tears, the feelings. We don't got time for that. We're trying to get this money. Your feelings are interfering with getting the money. Your feelings are interfering with making America great again. Anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. You love Babs, Catherine. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. JP Bader says ABL wants Lindsey Graham and Mark Levin. And you white guys crying about the Jews are the most pathetic, weak white guys I've ever seen in my whole life. You guys are soft. You guys are miserable. You won't get anything accomplished in your life. You guys are pitiful. And you lazy as, I don't know what, I'm almost cussed. You guys are lazy as well. You got a Mexican swing, Nick Fuentes, being your representative out there. How does it feel to be a white guy in this country and have Nick Fuentes speak for you? How does that feel? I would be offended if that was our guy that they put out there in front of everybody. Him. Then they're trying to have Nikki Haley's son talk for y'all. He's Indian. Don't even make sense. Y'all so lazy. You want to outsource that? Come now. Come now. At a certain point, Americans got to speak for Americans. Specifically, if you're part of a certain special interest group, you should speak for that group. Okay, you're a white guy. You have concerns. Okay, white this, white that. You got to get a white guy to talk about it, not a Mexican or Indian. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you know what? If Malcolm X got replaced by somebody back in the day, I would not want to see Bernie Sanders. It's like a Jew to replace Malcolm. That don't make no sense. Can we get a black guy? Now, to be fair, Malcolm was a little bit, on the spectrum. You know what I mean? He was kind of biracial, the red hair. Close enough. Y'all got a guy straight from Mexico with the name that don't even match. Okay, Malcolm X at least had the black experience. He was a black dude, Detroit Red. He had that. Y'all got a Mexican and a guy with a mom who's 100% Indian. It's like Kamala Harris all over again. We in a community said that Kamala was not black because her mom is straight from India. 100% Indian, the same as Nikki Haley's boy. Anyway, I'm getting triggered. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And I'm seeing the whole thing about you love the Jews, all this and that. Black people don't really squabble with white people over their ethnic differences. Because ultimately, the Jews you're talking about are white people to us. To y'all, the white guys who are pathetic, you see them as a separate entity that you got to blame because you're not doing what you got to be doing in this country. You know what I see happening right now? A lot of the Indian guys coming over here and replacing whites. That's the group that's really doing it. They are becoming the top group. It's the Indians and other Asians, but definitely the Indians. The white guy with white picket fence, American Dream from the 1980s is now a guy named Patel Singh. That's the reality. That's what I see happening all over the country. Where I live here in Tennessee, I see it. When I go back to Virginia, I see it. Wherever I go, I see it. That's what's happening. But anyway, I'm getting triggered. Wendy Bear says color means nothing. True conservative is non-rhino. It's all that matters. Hey, but if anybody wants to have someone speak for their special interest group, it should be someone from that group and not an outsider. If you're going to have that guy be the main guy. That's just my humble opinion. Bruce says, ABL, please be calm. Fuentes has no idea what is coming for him. Hey. Chris says, well, he's not from Mexico. Yeah, okay, it's okay. Look, he's not like from Mexico. He grew up in America, so it's okay. All right, that's fine. Hey, what's the name? It's not from India. Kamala Harris, she's not from India. She grew up kind of in North America, Canada. I guess that counts. It's close enough. Make her a black woman. You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. Okay, I'm seeing JP Bader. JP Bader, man, what's going on, bro? Hey, JP Bader, I see you in the comments, but I challenge you to call in. And if you don't call in, I already know why. Don't even worry about it. But anyway, before I go any further, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, shout out to the sponsor of the stream, as always, patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. That link will always be in the box, or visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, please go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. There I have an article for each video that I produce. And in each article, we got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want, I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Again, that is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. And as I always say, if you think you're conversing with me on the interwebs, you're probably not, especially if you didn't email me on my email address, contact@anthonyblogan.com, which is always on the contact page of the website. So you don't got to remember, if you didn't contact me that way first, and if I didn't respond, you're not talking to me. If you're in the comment section of the YouTube video or Instagram or direct message or email, that's not my email. It's not me. You're being scammed. Do not go to Target with 100 gift cards, because you're going to give them to someone in India, in Eastern Europe, in Nigeria specifically, or somewhere else that you don't want to go. That guy's going to sound like this. He's going to take all your monies. He's going to take everything from you. He's going to clean you out very swiftly. Don't do it. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. What I want to do is show the handmaids protest right quick. What's going on with the handmaids? What's going on with these protests, though? Like, are we bored? Are we that bored in America to where we got to go out here and join little cosplay clubs to protest? Is that what's happening? Y'all let me know. Fill me in. And how can I get an invite to a cosplay club? I mean, I might want to play around, not in this kind of club, but hey, if you're gonna protest like Marvel or Disney, and you get to put on those kind of outfits, Hey, it'd be fun. I'll be Blade. I'll dress as Blade going to a protest. It'd be great.
All day, every day, therapist, mother made, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, lift to attendant, so that he never lifts a finger, 24/7, baby machine.
Okay, we got music. Hopefully, hey, YouTube, don't do that to me. Now, don't do it to me. But you see what's going on. Handmaids take over Lincoln Memorial. Shame. All right. Is that a Constitution right there? A big, like a giant size one. And because we got to have bubbles, a big bubble machine. I think they're just bored and they want something to do. So it's like, okay, ladies, let's get these Handmaid's Tales outfits. Let's get our props. The upside down flag, the bubble machine is going to be fun. All right. Now, if only they could just be productive in society. If only they could do that. A lot of these protesters, if they could be productive in society, we'd be a much better place. All right. So, yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them. All right. Hold on. I couldn't be Blade. Plastic knife. The hate is real. Hey, the hate is real. Abracadabro. That's your name, Abracadabro. Hater. That's your name, Abracadahater. How about that? Anyway. Now, we got Eric Swalwell. This guy, man, a disappointment, really. A big disappointment. They had Eric Swalwell. They got him in Congress. They're like, you know what? This boy right here, he's going places. He could be the president one day. He could be the governor one day. But all they got is like a 35-year-old frat boy, basically. How old is he anyway? He's probably like 47. How old is Eric Swalwell? 45. Okay, I was close. He just turned 45 in November the 16th, 1980. You're 45, bro, but you act like you're 22 still in college. He says, you know what we should do? We should be able to vote by phone. What do y'all think? Should we vote our actual, like, for the president, for whoever, with our phones?
I want us to be able to vote by phone. I think every Californian
vote by phone.
Vote by phone. Yeah, if we can do our taxes, do our make our healthcare appointments, make essentially do your banking online. You should be able to vote by phone. Make it safe, make it secure, but it's actually already happening all over the United States. I want us to be a blue state that doesn't do just a little bit better than like Georgia or Alabama when it comes to like voting access. I want us to max out democracy. Also, as it relates to democracy, if you wait in line for 30 minutes or more, if you do want to vote in person, I think you should fine every county for every minute that a person has to wait longer. We have to be better, not just a little bit better than the other states. The DMV. I don't think Californians should have to go in person to the DMV anymore. I think we can do that virtually. I think you can have the DMV employees do it virtually, but that's a lot of real estate.
Is that the most popular position?
Digitize the DMV. Digitize the DMV.
Today, yeah.
We can modernize the state, and I look forward to bringing these ideas to Californians.
All right, there we go. So again, that is Eric Swalwell. What's he, a House rep in California? Make sure I'm saying the right thing. Eric Swalwell. He is a House rep for California's 14th district, Eric Swalwell. First of all, would you want to vote by phone? Would you want that to be a thing? Because obviously, clearly, that can be taken advantage of, that can be hacked, that can be compromised. That's going to be an easy way for them to steal. Per usual, allegedly, in California. We know how it is in California. We already know we only really got to go through it. But would y'all want that? I don't really feel secure. That's mail-in voting on steroids. I want you to be able to go into the place, show a physical ID to someone, they verify who you are, then you vote, because that protects your right. You have all this digital stuff, mail-in, you're just creating access points for people with bad intentions, bad actors to take advantage of the situation and engage in voter fraud. Why would you do that? Make it to where you got to go down there. And as far as the DMV, you got to streamline it. I don't really recommend the DMV totally being online either. Some things should be online, like, okay, plate renewal, that's something simple. All you're doing is just, throwing something in the mail, like plate renewal, that should be an online thing. We got that in Tennessee. But to get your license where you got to take a picture and I got to see you in person to know it's you and verify your identity. Nah, I need you to go to person. I need you to go to the DMV in person and do that. But you got to streamline it. Make it make a lot more sense, because I've seen some lines in some of these places wrap around the building. That shouldn't be going on. So yeah, streamline it. But everything being digital, I think not. But yeah, Eric Swalwell, man, he could have been somebody. He really could have been. But frat boy energy, fang, yum, that's not really, there's no future with him going above where he is. And the same thing with Marjorie Taylor Greene, to talk about her for a moment before I continue. They know Eric Swalwell is good to be right there where he is as a House rep. Anything beyond that, nah. Imagine him running for office like California governor or senator or something like that. All they're going to do is say, fang, yum. That's going to be the response from the opposition. And don't let him try to be the president. I mean, he couldn't even be. You kind of compromised by a foreign country already. I mean, we already seen that already. You have the propensity to allow yourself to be compromised by foreign entities. We can't have somebody like that with their finger on the button, because what if one day he call up Yum, hey, I'm lonely. Okay, I come now. And then she somehow gain access to the button and push it, and it's a wrap. So nah, we cannot have that happening in the good old US of A. Now, $524 million was spent just last year on fast food from SNAP alone. Let me say that one more time. 524 U.S. American cold hard cash dollars. Your money was spent on fast food from SNAP benefits. I was told that it's all about trying to provide nutrition. Oh, they're going to be starving, ABL. They're going to be so hungry. What kind of starving person is getting the big back off of McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and Wendy's and Arby's and everywhere else? Okay. Whenever I see these so-called starving people, they're big as a house. Okay. They are so big. If they stopped eating for a month, they wouldn't die. But anyway, this is going to be Joni Ernst from Iowa, Republican senator.
What we have found is that within the SNAP program, there is a way for certain states to apply for programs that allow those SNAP dollars to go to fast food restaurants. There are currently 9 states that allow that. And what we have found is in just the last 2 years, taxpayer dollars going into SNAP, those SNAP dollars of the amount of $524 million was spent on fast food. We know that we have health issues across the board here in the United States of America. Those SNAP dollars, and I'll remind everybody that the N in SNAP stands for nutrition, should not be going to fast food. What we have.
Exactly. 100% correct. It's supposed to be about feeding people. It's supposed to be about nutrition. What's nutritious about a barbecue McRib, McDouble, McSingle, McTriple, or whatever they call it? Where's the nutrition? I'm failing to see it. Where's the nutrition in a slushy or an ice cream thingamabob? I don't even know all these terms. Y'all got to bear with me. I don't know. If I go fast food, which has not been in a while, it's been a while. If I go to fast food, I'm going to go to McDonald's, nowhere else. I'm going to get a chicken sandwich and a medium fry. That's all I'm going to get. I'm going to get a McChicken, medium fry. I don't know any other option on the menu. Okay. And I can't do that because it's messing my skin up. I can't be looking crazy on camera. But anyway, now you guys just told me something I didn't know. I didn't know that Eric Swalwell had announced his run. So this is from yesterday. Okay. This is on Politico. Eric Swalwell enters the governor's race. Hey, man, I guess the pickings are slim. Because we saw the other lady, the big bug-eyed lady acting crazy, get ready to snap on the reporter for asking basic questions. So I guess they say, you know what? All right, come on, Eric. let's give it a try, man. Like, you know, it's going to be rough. They're going to keep saying, yum, fang, but just give it a try. Because the other lady that we want is a nut. Kathy Bates at best. We don't want that kind of energy So go try it, bro. Do y'all think he will win, or will the lady win, or will someone else win as governor? Do you think Chad Bianco, the conservative guy, has a chance? I hope Chad Bianco has a chance, but I know that it's California. He's a conservative, so it's going to be an uphill battle. Okay, it's going to be a big time uphill battle. Somebody says 40 years old, bad skin. No, I don't have bad skin. You see this right here. You see, hey, don't do that. Don't do that now. I said I don't want to eat fast food because it can make my skin get bad. But since I've not been eating fast food, it's flawless. Hey, don't even do that. But anyway, let's go to Minnesota right quick. Another beautifully run Democrat state. Am I right? Now,
John,
the SNAP budget for Minnesota, matter of fact, hold on. Before I give you the numbers of what the SNAP budget for Minnesota is, what do you think it is? Give me a number. For the entire state of Minnesota in 1 year, give me a number. All right, I'm going to play it right here. And that's right, Ryan Anderson. Black don't crack. It sure don't. Hey, I'm going to look just like this when I get to be 100 years old, so it's fine. All right, let's keep on rocking here.
John Phelan at American.
Hold on. RIP headphone user. Sorry for the loud noise.
John Phelan at AmericanExperiment.org did a deep dive into the growth of SNAP benefits since 2018 when Governor Walz took office as governor in Minnesota. So this program is administered by the Department of Agriculture, and they issue an annual SNAP activity report. In 2018, SNAP issuance, which is the amount the federal government is sending to states to finance the program, totaled $660 million in Minnesota.
That's pause. That's 2018. So how much was that? That was $660 million for the entire state of Minnesota SNAP budget in 2018. It's grown since then. What do you think it's grown to?
In Minnesota. This is 2018. By 2023, that had increased in real terms to $1.5 billion. It's the biggest of all of the states, okay? It seems like he's overlooking the fact that more and more people under his administration are in that position financially to not be able to buy groceries without federal assistance. Like, that's not a good thing. That's not something we should be celebrating.
And in the context of everything we know going on in Minnesota with the explosion of fraud under Tim Walz, I don't have a ton of faith that the massive growth of this program is fully legitimate.
There you go. $1.5 million for the SNAP program in Minnesota alone, which is the highest out of any state. Now, clearly there's something wrong. There's something wrong. What's going on in Minnesota? Because Minnesota is not a big populated state like that. I mean, beyond Minneapolis, what's in Minnesota? Not much. You would think California would have that title, or Texas, maybe because of the sheer population. But for sure, California, because of how California is and how expensive it is and how much corruption goes on. But it's Minnesota. That makes me think that there is straight up corruption, graft, theft, all of that happening. Plus, it doesn't help when you bring in a bunch of Somalis to one particular location and they're not speaking no English. Are they skilled? Are they working? What's going on? Hey, shout out to my Somalis, but y'all know not everybody should be over here. Okay. You know that some of your cousins and whatnot shouldn't be over here. So we only ain't gotta really play around like that. Now, here is an example of a scam, because scamming does happen a lot all over the country, but in Minnesota, happens quite a bit. Let's watch this right quick, shall we?
Usman.
All right. This is going to be, what's his name? Usman Kamara. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing here. Give me 1 second. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Y'all know what to do. All right. Hold on.
Usman Kamara is the 77th person charged in the massive $300 million Feeding Our Future fraud case. According to the indictment, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Kamara claimed to serve more than 300,000 meals to children out of his small grocery store in North Minneapolis. Federal prosecutors say Kay's Dollar Grocery and Deli, also called Kay's African Market, had already been disqualified from participating in SNAP because of suspected fraud. Now, a grand jury indictment charges him with stealing about $1 million meant to feed hungry children.
The owner is also charged with wire fraud for allegedly using more than $200,000 of the fraud money to buy the building where his store is located.
If I own this building and I want to be here for the next 20, 30 years, nobody can kick me out. It's mine.
NPR News interviewed Kamara in 2020 after he defended his store from rioters after the murder of George Floyd. Now, since he allegedly purchased the building with fraud money, the indictment says it's subject to forfeiture, so the feds can recoup some of the funds. However, past cases have indicated that other money referenced in the indictment, including a $90,000 wire transfer to Hong Kong, alleged bribes paid to a Feeding Our Future employee, and funds spent to pay off Kamara's credit cards, is likely gone.
So the Feeding Our Future worker who Kamara allegedly paid $87,000 in bribes is charged, but that person fled to Somalia before the very first indictments came.
Of course. Calling me surprised. And you know what? I almost said Usman Kamara is in Nigerian, West African or something like that. But of course, we know what Minnesota is. It's like a hub for all them to come to that one place and do whatever they want. Minnesota, at this point, is pretty much inviting them to do that right there. It's a shame. It's pitiful.
Came down. Of the 77 total defendants, 56 of them have been convicted so far. Julie.
So I noticed you.
Wow, that's unreal. So yeah, that is an example of the fraud, the waste, the abuse that happens in a place like Somalia. Mogadishu. Minnesota. So yeah, shout out to them. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But we do have Americans who steal too, so I don't want anybody to get offended. Oh, ABL, everyone steals. Yes, I get it. I understand. Americans do steal as well. This is going to be about a Democrat House rep from Florida, Sheila Sherfilus McCormick. I'm making that up. Sherfilus, Cherfilus. Sherfilus? What kind of name is that? Walmart Tavius. Sherfilus Jenkins. Anyway, she stole allegedly $5 million through some COVID scamming type of stuff. Okay, let's check it out. And to everybody listening, to all the young guys especially, don't steal. You think you're going to do it better than they are going to do it? You think you're so smart? You think you can't get caught? They have ways of being able to watch you that you don't even really understand. So the moral of the story before we even get started is don't steal.
Right now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Louis Aguirre.
And I'm Janice Fernandez. We want to get right to your top story tonight. Breaking news. A South Florida congresswoman indicted, accused of stealing millions of dollars in federal disaster funds and using the money to support her congressional campaign. Congresswoman Sheila Sherfilus McCormick now.
Sherfilus. What in the... Hey, man, look. If that was my name, I'm going to change it. I'm sorry. I'm going to just go by... I'm going to just put a C right there. What does C stand for? See your way out of my business. How about that?
Now facing federal charges.
She'd already been under investigation by the House Ethics Committee this summer. We have team coverage of the indictment tonight. Local 10's DC Bureau Chief Ben Kennedy standing by with reaction from Washington. But we begin with Local 10's Aaron Mabin in Miramar with the charges. Aaron.
Janice and Louis, within the last hour, attorneys for the Congresswoman said they plan to fight to clear her name.
Everybody feels like they're under attack.
Tonight, a federal grand jury indicting Congresswoman Sheila Sherfilus McCormick and several associates, accusing them of stealing millions in federal disaster funds, laundering the money, and using part of it to support her 2021 congressional campaign.
All right, I'm going to just pause for a second. I'm going to read some of this to see what she did. So, federal grand jury in Miami, returning an indictment, Sherfilus McCormick, several other co-defendants with stealing federal disaster funds, laundering the proceeds, and using the money to support her 2021 congressional campaign. So you're going to steal money from the government. You're going to steal from the government to run for the government, to become part of the government. If you steal from the government, they're going to find out, especially if you give it right back to them. According to the indictment, Sherfilus McCormick, 46, and her brother, Edwin Sherfilus, 51, both in Miramar, worked through their family health care company on a FEMA-funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract in 2021 In July 21, the company received an overpayment of $5 million in FEMA funds. The indictment alleges that the defendants conspired to steal that $5 million and routed it partly through multiple accounts to disguise the source. Prosecutors allege that a substantial portion of the misappropriated funds were used as campaign contributions to Sheriff-elect McCormick's 2021 congressional campaign and for the personal benefit of the defendant. So you're going to steal the money and then try to like donate it back to yourself through the campaign. The indictment further alleges that Sheriff-elect McCormick and Nadej LeBlanc, that's an interesting name, Haitian, of course, 46, both of Miramar, arranged additional contributions using straw donors, funneling other monies from the FEMA-funded COVID-19 contract to friends and relatives who then donated to the campaign as part of using their own money. That's not going to work. They can trace your money. They know where it went. They know where it goes.
Touch the people in the community, but the money didn't determine the selection.
Hold on.
2021 congressional campaign.
The money we invested was to make sure that we can touch the people in the community, but the money didn't determine the selection because most people put a lot of money in the community, in the campaigns, they don't win.
Federal prosecutors say Sheriff-elect McCormick and her brother Edwin Sheriff-elect ran a FEMA-funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract through their family healthcare company. Prosecutors say in July 2021, the company received a $5 million overpayment.
So, yeah, you see what's going on there. I ain't going to rehash it, but you see what's happening. See if I can go forward a little bit. Okay, public money belongs to American people, et cetera, et cetera. You see what's going on. So, yeah, that's out there in Miramar, Florida. Don't steal from the government. Don't steal from nobody. But I'm begging you, if you're going to steal, the government are the wrong people. They can see you, literally. They know exactly what you're doing. You're not hiding. You're not slick. You're not cool. You're just kind of a moron. All right. So now taxes. Hey, to my Chicago residents, if you guys are in the building or in the Chicagoland area, how are your taxes? And if you have a really big increase in your taxes, why is that happening in your humble opinion? Is it just randomly you getting a big tax increase, or are there more expenses you having to pay for? Like, I don't know, all these migrants that came into the country illegally between 2020 and 2024? I don't know. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's check it out here. This is going to be, I think, North Lawndale, maybe that surrounding area.
Many Cook County residents are reeling today from a whopping property tax bill that came out late and much higher than expected. Chicago's south and west sides are seeing some of the biggest increases. Our political reporter Chris Ty has more on why downtown may be to blame and what some residents are doing about it.
The pain is real here in North Lawndale, where property tax bills are going up on average 98%.
98% increase in your tax. I mean, come on. I mean, and really, can I just pause right quick? Why just stop at 98%? Just go ahead and double it all the way, just 100%. Don't say 98%. So then when I say my tax bill doubled, they say that I'm a liar. Don't even do that to me. Let's not play no games.
In West Garfield Park, it's up over 130%. And one of the main reasons why is because of what's happening or not happening over there in downtown Chicago, where in the Loop, they've collected 129 million fewer property tax dollars this year than they did last year.
My property taxes went up 75.86%. And so
Richard Townsell of North Lawndale has a friend who saw his jump 237%.
My wife and I, we had a budget meeting last week as we were looking at this. You know, does that mean maybe we don't take the vacation we thought we were going to take?
Thank you all. A frustration that this weekend led to this bill burning, led by the Lawndale Christian Development Corporation, which he is executive director.
It was a Boston Tea Party kind of moment where it's like taxation without representation. What do we do about this? Not just whine about it.
One idea is to lobby for a state law in Illinois, similar to one in California, that caps property tax hikes at no more than 2%.
That ain't the problem, though. See, look, the issue, they're trying to like talk about capping it. What's going on is that they are trying to recruit from all the COVID-19 migrant crisis money. They're trying to get all of that back. That's what's happening in Cook County, in my humble opinion. And they are trying to tax the rich to be able to do it. the so-called rich. But the quote-unquote rich are not going to want to take it. If they can, they're going to leave, which is going to reduce the tax base of Chicago further, which will make them less of an important city. I said this before. Chicago kind of on the way out. Atlanta, Georgia, the Sunbelt places are going to be on the way up. The South Side rise again. Actually, the South is rising right now. People are leaving Chicago, New York, Los Angeles for stuff like this. This kind of thing does not happen down here.
Consider Englewood residents saw an 82% jump this year, an average of $609. In North Lawndale, it was $1,900, and in Garfield Park, it was $2,000.
I think it's incumbent upon us as citizens to give our elected officials what we want. We should be pressing them around the bills that we want to see, not waiting for them to come up with a solution.
The problem, County Treasurer Maria Pappas says, is what's happening downtown.
All these high-rises, commercial buildings that you see downtown are unrented because the businesses have left the city. So somebody had to pick it up, so the residences are picking it up.
Picking it up begrudgingly.
I think government needs to learn how to live in their means, because guess what? You and I don't get a 100% increase on our pay.
Residents burning mad over the way government is spending more than they have.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's out there in Chicago. The taxes going up crazy. How are you going to be able to afford that? You're trying to you're trying to squeeze the people who have money, who are productive, who do bring something to the table. You're trying to squeeze them dry. If I'm in that position, I'm not going to be squeezed. I'm going to just leave before you could do that to me. Hey, don't even worry about it. I'm going to abandon my property, all of that. Let it go up 237%, man, please. You know how much money it is for your taxes? It's to the point where it could cost you 5 figures. It depends how much your property is worth, but that's a lot of money you got to pay every year. And it's going to be a shock. It's not going to be a gradual increase where you're able to kind of deal with it like an inflation increase. Nah, just 236%. It's crazy. It's totally nuts. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Here is Tim Burchett talking about insider trading. Okay, this is going to be, what's Tim Burchett, House Rep from Tennessee. Shout out to Tim.
Thank you, Brad Paul. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Brian. Somebody asked me if I was going to wear my jacket up there, and I said, to quote the immortal words of Henry Winkler when he played the Fonz, I always rumble in this jacket, because that's what we're up against. This is a fist fight, folks. Now, first, I guess I need to thank Chairman Stiles and the committee, the House Admin Administration Committee, for taking this up, because I realize what we're up against. I mean, this is, everybody talks about this place being a dadgum swamp. It's not a swamp. A swamp is something cool God created. It filters water. Animal life lives and flourishes around it. This is a sewer. This is created by man, and it needs to stop. We've, for years, Congress has been using hardworking American taxpayers' money to get rich. Dadgum, it's got to stop. America knows what the heck's going on. Everybody wants to knock Pelosi. Heck, she's not even in the top 10. Get on that Unusual Whales site. This is pathetic, folks. We all know what's going on. Congress knows what the hell's going on, and it needs to stop. This body has been enriching itself on the taxpayers' dime for too dadgum long, and it's got to stop. This place is crooked, and is crooked as a dog's leg. That's
Shout out to Tim Burchett talking about congressional insider trading. It's epidemic. It's out of control. And it's like, who cares? That's kind of the general sentiment from a lot of people. It's like, whatever. Ain't no big deal, right? That's kind of what's going on. So, yeah, shout out to Tim. Pelosi, all these people, that's just tip of the iceberg. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she part of it. Don't let her tell you anything else. I'm seeing the Micah, Nick Fuentes people in here. I see y'all. Don't let her tell you that that's not what's happening. Okay. Dadgummit. Yeah, I love it. I love me a good old Southern gentleman. Well, dadgum. Yeah, no cussing, but I'm going to just my point across. You know that I'm a little bit upset, but no cursing because I'm a Southern gentleman. So, yeah. And I love the South, the culture for reasons like that. So, yeah, shout out to you guys and shout out to him. Let's keep rocking here. I got to show Jasmine a little bit. I got to show her a little bit because of the whole Epstein thing, okay? And then I promise I'm going to move past it. I ain't going to keep y'all too long, all right? So let's just recap. Remember when Jasmine came out and said that Lee Zeldin, a Republican House rep, accepted money from Jeffrey Epstein to his campaign. That's what she said, but she was wrong, simply. Well, there was a guy named Jeffrey Epstein, but it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein.
Money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein.
Hold on.
Took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
There's more, but the main thing you wanted to hear there was about Lee Zeldin. And of course, that is Miss Plaskett from Virgin Islands, who was texting with what's her name? Jeffrey Epstein. She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing after he had been convicted of the child sex trafficking. The lady right there, right next to her right, well, to her left, but on my right of the screen, that's her. So what you're going to hear now is Jasmine try to make sense of all that. Hey, what's up with your friend that was right there next to you? She was texting Jeffrey Epstein during a trial. And what's up with you talking about Jeffrey Epstein gave Lee Zeldin money when it was not that Jeffrey Epstein? What's going on? Okay, now let's hear the explanation. Let's hear her worm her way out of this, or at least try to.
Take her.
Okay. So first of all, hold on. I swear for everything I love in this world, if I see that face right there running for president, I am out. I'm going to Nigeria, first class. I'm going to be gone from here forever. I will never come back if she's the president of the United States. So, okay, watch this.
Take her off of her committee because he decided to text her. Stacey didn't initiate that chain. Jeffrey initiated that chain, and she took the information. Just like if somebody texts me.
Yeah, but she was responding and saying, you know, what are you talking about? Quick, I'm up next. And then her questions were about Rona. But do you think that was inappropriate? I mean, would you text with someone who is a registered sex offender about what you should ask?
I honestly know.
Exactly. She was texting him for advice. Hey, what do I say now? I'm about to go up right now. What do I say next? Hey, give me my talking points, Mr. Epstein. I know you were convicted of child sex trafficking, but I need your help right now. Give me the words to say before I go out there and talk. Can you imagine if Trump did something like that with Jeffrey Epstein? You wouldn't be doing all this stuttering and stammering and whatnot trying to defend him. But since that's your friend and she a Democrat, you got to go out there and defend her. Anyway.
Registered sex offender.
I mean, listen,
about what you should ask.
I honestly know that he had never been convicted of any federal crimes at that time.
But he had been in jail already.
He had been in jail. And my deal is this. The Republicans are constantly texting with a 34-count convicted felon.
Nah. Don't do that now. Don't do that because Epstein actually got locked up. Epstein had got locked up when your friend was texting him talking about, hey, can I get some advice? Trump never been locked up before. Trump has not been locked up before. Your man, Jeffrey Epstein, been locked up. So don't try to, he didn't get convicted. He was already in jail. What you mean?
It's okay for them to text him at any point in time. Then I'm not going to say that that's right or wrong, especially to the extent that you're talking about kicking someone off their committee. Were they sexting? Was it a matter of her being involved in the pedophilia? No, it was nothing like that. She was trying to understand. Let's say Jeffrey Epstein said, you know what? I have these pictures, these salacious pictures, because I know.
All right, there we go. So that's her trying to defend her friend for texting Jeffrey Epstein, getting advice from him when she was in the middle of a hearing. Hey, what do I say? I'm about to go up right now. Give me some advice, Mr. Epstein. I know you already been locked up for messing with kids and everything, but it's fine. Can I get the information from you? But if that was Trump doing that, she would not be on TV defending them because, again, that's her friend. That's a Democrat. She got to go out there and defend them. A pit bull. That's what she is, a pit bull for the Democratic Party. Go out there and attack. Hey, I know that I'm wrong, but bite my enemy. Bite. That's her.
Okay.
What was that? It was somebody that did that during the Mao administration. I got to find that video now. Okay. You tell me bite, I bite. I gotta find that. Hold on. Can I please find that video? I'm going to find it before the end of the stream. If you guys can find that for me, please. I beg you, please do so. Please do that for me. But anyway, more from her, then I'm done with her, then I move on. I promise.
I'm sorry, but like we don't have ethical like rules that say that you can't receive text messages or you can't respond to text messages, especially if somebody has a certain record and you can't do it in committee. We all be sitting on our phones, and yes, people be texting. I mean, our staff text us, like everybody texts us, like people. I remember when I had the bleach blonde situation, you know who was texting me? My pastor. Okay. So like, let me be clear. There is no ethical violation. And so the idea or the audacity to decide that you want to strip a Black woman of her committee assignment because she was texting with Epstein, because I'm sorry, but like,
yo, you look crazy. You look totally crazy. Hey, you know what? Democrats. Matter of fact, what I said earlier about her not running and she shouldn't run for, I want her to run. Run her, AOC, all of them, because it's going to be fantastic. I get to see that face. Hey, man, it's going to be content gold for me, number one. Number two, it's going to be easy to destroy you. It will be easy to destroy you. Hold on. And I found a quote. It's from his wife. Now I can find the video. Hold on. If you like what you're hearing so far, hold on. Is this it? Nah, this ain't. Man, I got to find that. But basically, the quote said, I was Chairman Mao's dog, whoever he told me to bit. I was Chairman Mao's dog, whoever he told me to bite, I bit. Do I have that? It should be a quote right here. But anyway, let's keep on moving here. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Oh, can we go back right quick? Let's go back to 2007. Because at one point, Jeffrey Epstein was the man. He was on TV. He was like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Can we go back to that right quick? Let's go back to 2007 for you youngsters, especially if you've not seen this before. Let's watch and see what Jeffrey Epstein was to the general public before recently.
He's got a small fleet, a Gulfstream 4, a Cessna, and a Boeing 727 with, of course, an in-flight trading room.
He has a Boeing 727. I'm just wondering now, what do you need a commercial-size airliner for?
Believe us, it comes in handy when you've got powerful friends to fly around. When Bill Clinton organized a week-long tour of Africa in 2002, Jeff gave him a ride in his personal 727 and took actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker along for the trip.
Now, for former President Clinton, it was a chance to investigate the problems of AIDS in Africa, and for Epstein, it was a chance to hang out with some of his big-shot friends.
Jet setting with Bill, all in a day's work for Wall Street mogul. He unwinds in his $6.8 million Palm Beach villa. But no Wall Street island hopper grabbed a sweeter spread than our friend Jeffrey Epstein. With an estimated annual take of $75 million, he had more than enough cash to buy his own piece of the Virgin Islands.
So you see what's going on there. It was, you know, he was the man. He got a piece of Virgin Islands. Everything was all good. He's like a rapper, kind of. That's the way they were showing him back in 2007. But of course, things ain't always what they seem, and then things went a different way. So if you were somebody who was linked to him back then, before everything came out, would it be fair to say that you were somehow doing something wrong? I mean, were you involved in the wrong thing that he did? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? You got to find evidence of that. But to link somebody to Epstein and make it seem like they did something they shouldn't have been doing, I don't think that's right, especially since he was portrayed one way by the mainstream media. You got to prove that somebody did something like that, rather than just thinking that maybe they did because they knew the guy. Okay. Yep. We didn't hear anything about Trump. We didn't. I'll play the rest of this right quick. Then I keep on rolling.
St. James. It used to be a resort.
And now it's sort of lovingly called Little St. Jeff.
Why not? It's all his.
Yeah, boy!
But when Jeff is back in the States, he retreats to the Santa Fe mega ranch he bought back in 1993.
Epstein is said to have the largest home in New Mexico. His property is 7,500 acres.
Can I have it like that?
You got it like that.
All of his homes all over the country and the world are equipped with trading screens. So he can basically just wake up in the morning and start trading.
There we go. So that's what Jeffrey Epstein was like to the mainstream. That's the way he was portrayed. Hey, the edits are crazy, ain't they, Paulie? The edits, hey, man, we've come a long way since 2007 with some of these edits. Random rap lyrics for no reason, random sounds, like a Vegas casino. Ding, ding, bish, bish. It's like, let's relax a little bit, shall we? Let's relax a teeny bit. Yeah, boy. It's like, all right, I don't got to hear that every 2 seconds. But anyway, let's keep rocking and rolling here. Oh, and before I continue, I almost forgot. Y'all almost didn't remind me. We gotta show the real Jeffrey Epstein, the actual living guy, responding to what Jasmine Crockett did, which was accuse Lee Zeldin of getting money from the dead Jeffrey Epstein. And it was funny because she said, well, I said a guy named Jeffrey Epstein. I didn't say Jeffrey Epstein himself. Was like, all right, if you are speaking in front of Congress and you say that someone got money from Jeffrey Epstein, you are inferring that he got money from the Jeffrey Epstein, because if that's not the case, then why would you say it? Let's not be dumb. But anyway, here is the guy that she was talking about, who is not the guy we just saw on the 2007 VH1 video.
Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, I don't know at this point if I should feel sorry for you. I'm sure you're proud of your family name. How do you feel getting mixed up in that mess?
It's been a week of a disaster, if you might say. I was very happy with my name. I've had it longer than he has. Obviously, I'm still here and he's not. But to be implicated, or even the insinuation that I am the pedophile, it was really pretty awful what she did. And she clearly, when she did her word scramble backpedaling on CNN the other night, those were just blatant lies. It's ridiculous.
Would you take legal action against her?
He's not going to answer that. He's not going to answer that. Let's see if he does.
I had considered it, but of course, with the law, you cannot, because the comments were made on in the Senate floor, so you can't sue based on the constitutional law.
Is that right? Interesting. So you're able to go up there and just lie and slander someone, and there's nothing that you can do because it's on the Senate floor? That's crazy.
What about what she said on CNN? We're given a chance to get it right.
She certainly didn't get it right. If anything, she lied even further, because she never once said a Jeffrey Epstein. She said Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly, she implied that Lee Zeldin, amongst others, had taken money from the pedophile. But let the record show that if you look in the filings, you also see that Jasmine Crockett took money from Jeffrey Epstein.
Whoa. Wait. See, you get in the admins to come in here and drop some knowledge. Now, is it you that gave her money, or is it the Jeffrey Epstein who's dead? Like, let's. Jasmine, you got some explaining to do.
You know, I always feel sorry. I mean, I chose this life that I live.
Hannity, you didn't even really follow up on that. I'm disappointed. But anyway.
To be in the public eye. But for people that don't choose it and they get smeared and slandered and besmirched, I've often given advice to friends that have gone through that. It's very hard on them. Has this been very hard on you?
It's been annoying. That's the best way I can say it. I've been inundated
You're
with...
very gracious.
A few too many texts, a few too many phone calls, people showing up at my home saying they're friends of mine. A reporter from the New York Post came by. It's just so silly. It's annoying, and that's what it was.
Did you donate to Jasmine Crockett? I read you might.
I was hoping this would go away already. I thought this would die down after a couple of days, but it just seems to keep going and going.
Did you donate to Jasmine Crockett? I read you might.
I did.
That's crazy. Jasmine. Really? Jasmine? And Hannity, you must have heard me because you followed up on it. Thank you for doing that, Hannity. But Jasmine, really? You tried to out somebody from getting money? You tried to out someone for getting money for Jeffrey Epstein when the guy you're talking about gave you money. You can't make this stuff. You cannot make this stuff up. I promise you can't.
Donate to Jasmine Crockett.
All right, that's political jiu-jitsu. Good play. Doctor, thank you, and keep up the great work you're doing every day. Doctor.
That is so funny. That is hilarious. So, yeah, shout out to Jeffrey Epstein, a real person who is not the dead guy who was the pedophile. Shout out to this guy who's just a regular person. He's a doctor, actually. Not the guy who is on the so-called files. Because, again, that guy been dead for years. And clearly, he's not dead. Hey, that is crazy. You're going to out Lee Zeldin for getting money from the guy that gave you money? All right. Okay, Jasmine. That's what we doing. That's how we rocking. Anyway, so let's go away from that. Let's go to Trump and Zohran. How you guys feel about Trump meeting Zohran Mamdani in the White House? Good, bad, somewhere in between? Did you want it to be a fight? Jerry Springer? Jerry, did you want that? Like, what's going on? Okay. I'm going to show some of these clips a little bit. So this is Zohran responding to a question about calling Trump a despot in previous talks, maybe during his campaign speech or whatever, maybe during his campaign run.
Came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting. Maybe I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please.
Came back again and again.
One thing about Trump is that he's going to make the deal happen. He's going to make you feel comfortable. He's going to try to meet you in a certain place to be able to get things accomplished. If he can't meet you at a certain place with charm, if he can't talk to you reasonably, then okay, let's do something else. Just like with Zelensky from Ukraine. Apparently, before they had a meeting, meaning with him and Zelensky, they were not able to come to an understanding. So then when the cameras come around, it was contentious because Zelensky was not really trying to listen. Zelensky might be on that powder, acting crazy, acting the fool. Trump's not with it. Zohran come in there, clear-headed, respectful, able to listen. Okay, now we got something going on. Let's try to make it happen. All right, now this is going to be about Zohran saying that a lot of Trump voters also voted for him in New York.
Oh, sure. Oh, I would do that, absolutely. And if the mayor would like to be here for that meeting, because I know he feels very strongly. I think you feel very, very strongly about peace in the Middle East. I think
we desperately want it, and that's something that I shared with the president, that when I spoke to New Yorkers who had voted for the president last November on Hillside Avenue and Fordham Road, I asked them why. I heard again and again two major reasons. One was that they wanted an end to forever wars. They wanted an end to the taxpayer dollars we had funding violations of human rights, and they wanted to address the cost of living crisis. And I appreciated the chance to discuss both of those things.
He said a lot of my voters actually voted for him, and I'm okay with that. Oh, sure.
Hold on. So why do you guys think that some Trump voters in New York City voted for Zohran as well? What's the motivation behind that? Y'all let me know in the comments. All right, let's keep rocking here. Oh, and here is when they were trying to ask Zohran about his previous comments calling Trump a fascist. And one thing about Zohran, again, that I noticed, very well polished, very, very well polished. This is the kind of guy that you want to be a politician as far as the way that he presents himself. Now, his ideas and policies most certainly need some work, but the way he's presenting himself is good for a politician. Again, the policies are a different story.
I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
And Mr. President, I wanted to ask,
See that move right there? Hold on. That move right there, this little pat right there. It's like, it's my grandson. You know, he a little slow, but he's all right. That's what, I don't know. That's kind of what I was feeling throughout this whole thing. It was like, I'm proud of my grandson, but he's not all the way right. You know, we still working on him. It's one of them situations. That's kind of what I'm getting. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You might got a nephew or somebody that's not acting right, but you think they could go somewhere. You think they got all the tools, but it's got to get over that hump. And you trying to encourage them. All right, come on, boy. You be all right. That's kind of what I got from that. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know in the comments. But that pat right there, that's what that was. You don't do that to everybody. You're not going to pat Mohammed bin Salman like that. Yeah, attaboy. You're not going to pat a guy like he your nephew when you see him as like a respected leader. Xi Jinping, nah. You're not doing that to Xi Jinping. You're not doing that to Mohammed bin Salman or anyone like that. But to a guy like Zohran, okay, nephew, come on, let's make something happen. And he was able to talk to him in the meeting and get to a common ground with him. So that's a good thing. So what do y'all think? You feel the same way? Sitting next to his grandpa? Exactly. 100%. Can a communist change? Well, you might not have no other choice if you're trying to get money from the federal government. See what I'm saying? It's not about can he change. He may have his same feelings, and that's okay. But you want to work with us, you got to make some kind of concession. So either you're going to change your opinion or you're not getting money. So what's up? What you trying to do? It's simple as that. You could do it the easy way or the hard way. So if you're going to do it the easy way, then you can be my friend. If you want to do it the hard way, you can go about it that way too. But I don't think your constituents like that too much, Zohran Mamdani. I don't think they would like that too much if all this federal money just went up in smoke. So it is what it is. Okay. Oh, did he pat the Crown Prince's shoulder in the past? But not like that. Like this was not his shoulder. This was like his elbow. It's different. Like let's play it again. Okay, so watch. It's kind of like, you know, I'm patting, add data boy. That ain't the same thing as like patting you right here. Patting you right here is like a little bit more different. I don't know. It's like little body language. I want to get a body language expert to break that video down. I'm not a body language expert, but I kind of know it a little bit. I see certain things that I think you do when you see someone a certain way versus what you do when you see somebody a different way. All right. So here's Caroline Leavitt talking about the meeting. Our fantastic White House press secretary. All right.
This meeting today really proved that President Trump is willing to meet with anybody, to sit across the table, to shake hands, look people in the eye, and have discussions on how they can mutually benefit the American public. And don't forget, President Trump is a lifelong New Yorker. He loves that city. He helped build the skyline as it exists and shines today. So, of course, he wants New York to succeed. He wants all of America to succeed because he is a president for all Americans. Despite what the Democrat Party and the leftist media might tell the American people every single day, the president wants this country to come together. And you saw that on full display in the Oval Office. Now, actions, of course, speak louder than words. And ultimately, the mayor-elect will be judged by the actions he actually takes in New York. And that has yet to be seen. But as for the actions of President Trump and this administration, rest assured to New Yorkers and all Americans, the president is going to continue to put you first. We're going to continue to slash regulations to bring down prices that were caused by the Democrat Party. We're going to continue to drill, baby, drill, unleash America's energy independence. And of course, we are going to continue to mass deport illegal criminals from our communities. And ICE will continue to operate in New York City. And that discussion took place in the Oval Office today. President Trump's never going to change his values, but he's always going to try to work with others to make this country great.
Fantastic. Caroline Leavitt. Very, very good, as always. Very mature. She's just 28 years old. Can you imagine that? 28 years old. Fantastic. Shout out to her. No, she got a husband that's what, like in his 50s or something like this. Oh, why is your husband so old? Do you think that she could actually be with a guy that's 28 years old talking like that? I mean, come on. Like the maturity level, the intellect level is off the charts. Okay, hold on. What's her husband's age? It was a whole bit. She did a podcast about it. So there's a 32-year age gap between her and her husband. 32-year age gap. So that's quite a bit. But I think it makes sense for someone of her maturity level and status when you're talking about where she is politically. So yeah, shout out to her and the husband. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, this is going to be Nayland Haley, Nikki Haley's son, talking about he doesn't think naturalized citizens should hold public office.
And there's
okay, meaning if you were not born here, you should not be in any public office. Not just the president, where you cannot be the president if you're not born in the country, but for any public office, governor, senator, mayor, whatever. Okay. Again, Nikki Haley's son, Nayland Haley.
So many different aspects to immigration that it's not just the migration part of it, but a lot of other things that are just out of control.
Like what?
So naturalized citizens should not be able to hold public office. Growing up here is a big part of understanding the country. We need to stop and limit the amount of foreign students that are coming into our universities. Some of them are spies, by the way, for foreign governments, but it's also just we should put our kids first.
Yes.
And we should also not allow dual citizenship because that's the stupidest idea. You're either American or you're not. And everyone wants to make it so complicated. That's the thing that I don't like about the past generation is they're always about the rules, the process, and regulation. No, it's really simple. You're just America first. People should have their loyalty to America first. And if they can't do that, then this ain't the country for you.
That's totally right. What about...
So there we go. That is Nikki Haley's boy. What do y'all think? Does he have a future? Is he going to be somebody that you see a lot more? The issue with him is going to be because he's Indian. That's going to be the thing. At least half Indian because his mom is 100% Indian, Nikki Haley. So that's going to be the only thing against him. But he is not as Indian looking as like a Kash Patel or Vivek. Now, I'm not a racist. Shout out to the Indian people. I'm just saying, I don't know how Americans are. As I've said before, when we don't know you and your people like that in America, we're apprehensive. We know blacks and whites and Hispanics, but other like Chinese and Indian is like, or even African, if you like straight, guy yesterday African, it's like, what's going on? Who are you? That's the issue. Nikki Haley is Indian, yes. 100% Indian, 2 Indian parents, not white at all. Her name, Haley, comes from her husband. And Nikki, that's part of her actual name. Like, that's part of her name. Her name is Nimrata Nikki Randhawa Haley. So her birth name was Nimrata Nikki Randhawa. And then when she got married, it was Nimrata Nikki Randhawa Haley. Say that 5 times fast. Anyway, shout out to him. Now, I want to play Crowder for a second. Just for a second. I mean, white guys, can we please get it better? Hey, white guys, shout out to my white homies. I love y'all. Because I'm like, I got a little bit of white too, so I'm just the same as you. If you go down the family tree, I'm going to fall out of your family tree, Mr. White Man. But anyway, can we get better white male influencers for these kids to look up to? I could be the influencer for the young guys, that's fine, but we need guys that they can relate to. We need those guys. Because when I was young, I was trying to find a guy I could relate to. Rush Limbaugh, I love Rush Limbaugh, but Rush Limbaugh is not exactly a 25-year-old black guy. That's why I was needing at the time. But I still listen to Rush Limbaugh. But I think it would have been easier for me to get into politics if I had a guy that I could relate to at a young age who was the same as me. Charlie was that for everybody, but definitely for the young white guys. Charlie was that guy. And now since Charlie is gone, may rest in peace, who's next? Who's going to be that guy to fill the void? Nobody? I'm not saying anybody can replace Charlie. Please don't get that confused. But someone must fill the void. As of right now, it's Nick Fuentes, unfortunately. And that's going to be really bad because you got a white male loser trying to lead other young white guys is going to be leading them to the same place that he is at, which is being a loser. Anyway, let's hear from Crowder about the whole situation. And I promise, no more Crowder. I promise, I swear. I'm not white. Hey, I know it's a surprise, but I'm not white. I'm coming out today as a black man. How about that? Anyway, let's watch this right quick. Then we move on.
These people, though, Pierce, I do need to tell you, people like Nick Fuentes, they have a legitimate grievance. There was some gatekeeping going on. And I've experienced this too, by the way. It wasn't over the Israel thing, but you have some conservatives who are cozy with big tech, where they're fully monetized, their views are permissible, and people like Nick Fuentes, they're deplatformed. I'm at Rumble. I obviously would have pull at Rumble. I've been there for a long time. I have been painstakingly clear. Nick Fuentes, of course, should have a platform if he's not breaking the law.
The thing about Nick, and the reason why he's not on a lot of these big platforms, is because he's a toxic person that just damages the entire company for everybody. That's the issue. We could say it's right or not, but it's their company, and they are looking at it like, okay, we're going to preserve the company over everything else. It's like the same thing with me and TikTok right now. They don't really want me to do my YouTube content. They don't want me to do my reaction content or the way I do things on other platforms over there. They want it a certain kind of way, or they're not going to accept it. What am I to do about that? That's their platform. What am I to do about that?
That's the difference between some of the old school conservatives who say free speech, but behind the scenes, they glad hand a little bit. And if these people are radical, and I don't know that they are, that's why I'd like to have a conversation with them. We do need to ask what radicalized them. That's a valid, if we believe that they're radical. But I think they have some legitimate grievances. And you have one side saying, these people are despicable, these people are offensive. Those are victim bitch words. Don't use those words. And then you have people trolling saying, I love Stalin. I don't think that anyone who's right-wing or conservative loves Stalin.
I can't. I'm done. Hey, I'm sorry, bro. Nah. Okay, and some of you guys are naming names about the guys that could be, the white male influencer for the young white guys out there. Somebody said Scott Pressler. I want to be clear, and I like Scott. I met Scott. He's a good guy. But how about a heterosexual white guy? Let's start there. And Stephen Crowder is not heterosexual by his own admission. Scott Pressler is openly gay. Can you get a heterosexual white guy that's, going to be a strong influence for the young white guys like Charlie was? Can we get that? Is that too much to ask? And you know what? It's not about just the white guys, conservative guys in general, black, white, whatever. And I said this on the podcast with Xavier Miller. Shout out to him. I put out a short from that earlier in the week, and I tagged him in the short. So if you want to see the full video, it'll be in the short. But I was talking about that. I said, look, it's not enough conservative guys talking. He asked me a question. He was like, do you think there's too many voices on social media? I'm like, nah, it's not too many voices because, first of all, it's freedom of speech. You got to hear all sides. That's freedom of speech. But I think there are too many voices from the left and not enough from the right. It's a lot of guys that feel the same way I feel, but we don't talk. We don't say anything and just let them run the show. So we have to be able to speak more on social media than we do to show them that we're here. You can have Candace Owens and all these people, and that's fine, but you got to have masculine, heterosexual men of all races to be able to speak more to the young guys, especially because they're looking for somebody to look up to and got them in the proper direction. And I don't think a guy that's gay can really do it. It is what it is. Sorry about that. I mean, don't nobody get offended, but people like Dave Rubin, that ain't gonna cut it. Stephen Crowder is gay. He said he's fighting the bisexual demon. Let's not do that. If you say you fighting bisexual demons, that means you're gay. And you could call it whatever you want, but it is what it is. And I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge. If you're gay, that's fine. But I think when you're talking about trying to guide young men in the proper direction, you got to have an actual heterosexual male. Simple. Anyway, let's keep rocking. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. So this woman says she's less likely to see Trump supporters on vacation because they're broke, they have no money, they're dumb. That's just what's going on.
I don't know if people realize.
Hold on. And RIP to the headphone users. Hold on. And I'm going to come right back to the whole thing about the influencers. I ain't going to let that go. I'm going to read some of you guys' comments, but let's hear from this young lady first.
I don't know if people realize that when you meet an American abroad or an American traveling, they're very unlikely to be a Trump supporter because, as we said, less Republicans have passports.
Yeah.
They're way less likely to like move abroad. So the chance of meeting one in the wild is a lot lower. I don't know if people realize that when you meet an American abroad or an American traveling, they're very unlikely to be a Trump supporter because, as we said, less Republicans have passports.
Yeah.
They're way less likely to like move abroad. So the chance of meeting one in the wild is a lot lower.
Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. Is it Trump supporters you're less likely to find out in the wild, or is it the majority of Americans? How many Americans, period, have a passport? How many Americans can just fly wherever they want to fly to? Now, you could get a lot of these rich liberals like Luigi Mangione, people like that, who are able to go all over the place. Does that make them better? Are they more intelligent? Are they more ambitious? Is that what's going on? Or do you just happen to have more money? Do you just happen to have money from your parents? Like, what's really going on? Let's get down to the bottom of it. Okay, so that's just somebody thinking that they're superior, trying to say, oh, you're poor. And it's funny because a lot of the left say that they want to take in the poor, the hungry, and the weak from the entire world. But whenever you don't agree with them, then being poor and hungry and weak is somehow a weapon to use against you. They throw it in your face. So make that make sense. People like this, I don't like. But hopefully she travels next time and stays wherever she's going, because the USA would be a lot better without people like her in it, for sure. That is for sure. All right. But yeah, is that a man? Now that's a look. You know what? I'm not gonna assume. Actually, you know what? I was gonna say I'm not gonna assume anybody's gender anymore. But you know what? I don't really care. I'm gonna assume, and if I'm wrong, oh well. Oh well. If you look like a man, I'm gonna just say, sir. It's ma'am. All right, whatever, sir. Whatever, I don't care. Do something to me. You ain't gonna do nothing. But anyway. Now, somebody said, hold on. Somebody said something about Steven Crowder fighting his demons. Let me see if I can find that video right quick. Matter of fact, no, never mind. I ain't gonna do that. But you can find it. You can find it on your own time. But it's out there. You could just Google it. I'm gonna read some of these comments before I keep rolling here. All right, hold on. Barron Trump make a great influencer. Yes, Barron would be great. I like Barron a lot. Tall guy, yes. Very well mannered, very well spoken. I like Barron a lot. But I doubt that he wants to be an actual influencer. They're all gay. Hey, yeah. A lot of them are. Republicans don't talk politics on vacation. Exactly. Yeah, we're not going to be out there saying, yeah, MAGA on vacation. We just out there chilling, minding our business. Okay. James says, I'm Republican. I have my passport, work in finance, and have a job, so I'm not moving abroad. Exactly. There we go. Hey, JV says, Crowder once said he used to struggle with thinking he was bisexual. What did he do? He prayed gay war? What did he do? Did he pray the gay away? I'm not gay no more. I'm delivered. Is that Steven Crowder? Did he get delivered? Did he get delivered? Anyway, if you like what you're hearing, so y'all know what to do. Sadie says, I don't talk politics on vacation. Well, there you go. So maybe she was around Trump supporters and had no idea. And also, my question would be, where are you going on vacation? Because some parts of this world, I'm not really trying to go to. Okay, if I know it's going to be a bunch of y'all, meaning the septum ring, liberal, if I'm going to see a bunch of y'all there, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go to a different part of wherever you are. So maybe I'm avoiding you. That might be why you've not seen many conservatives out abroad, young lady. Just maybe. Just maybe. All right, hold on. I'm reading some of these here. Betty Boop says, my mother, a Trump supporter, is very worldly. She's been everywhere. There we go. There we go. All right, let's, speaking of nose rings, septum rings, and whatnot, let's get a lesson on biology from this young lady, okay? And you already know there's some BS afoot.
I'm going to hold your little Christian hands while I say this. Gender is neurological, not biological. Gender lives in the brain, not the body. Gender is not defined by chromosomes and hormones and some arbitrary binary box a society shoves at you and expects you to live in based off of your biology. Gender is brain. Gender is the wiring. If neurology is the wiring, biology is the hardware, and wiring trumps hardware every single damn time. People understand this when you say chronic pain, because that's internal. Pain, chronic pain. You can't show people that you're in pain if it's a chronic pain, autoimmune disease, things like that. It's internal. Gender is neurological. It's internal, not external. And you know what? If we are all made in God's image, both male and female, then the God of the Bible is non-binary and or gender fluid.
Okay, there was so much here. First of all, when you say that gender is comparable to someone having pain that you can't see, that makes no sense. You say that gender is just in your head, right? It's the wiring of your brain. Are you in pain because your brain is wired a certain way, or because you're injured, or you got some kind of illness going on? That's not just in your brain, okay? If you get hit on the side of your head with a baseball bat, that's not just inside your brain, that's outside your brain too. You done got bumped in the head, you're actually in pain, you're injured, you're bleeding. That's a physical, real thing. The same way it's physical and real that you were born as a boy or as a girl. Now, what I will say is this. You could be sensitive or soft or weak as a male. That's okay. If that's you, that's okay. You're still a male. You're still a man. Same thing if you are a woman. You could be a big bull dagger, rough and tough. You could be dainty as a flower and everything in between. The big bull dagger and the dainty flower are still women at the end of the day. Whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you think you are, whatever your mind is like at the time, whatever kind of mental illness you're dealing with, it doesn't matter. You still are male or female. That's it. ABL, what about intersex? Please stop playing games. Please stop. Those who are out there, the they, thems, dressing up like little kids or whatever, little girls, little boys, those adult human beings are male or female. We saw the GameStop dude, it's ma'am. That's a man who is having a mental problem. But you know what? I'm glad they're admitting that there is a problem mentally. There's something different with the wiring mentally. And that's a good first step. That's a great first step. Okay. Now let's go a little bit further and say that there's something wrong with your mental wiring. There's something that's not clicking all the way. You a few trees short of a forest, a few crayons short of a whole 64 count box. Something ain't right. So I'm glad she's almost right there at the actual problem with that type of situation. But anyway, shout out to her. Are liberals more depressed than conservatives? I think we all know the answer. We just saw her talk about your wiring is wrong in your brain. Well, maybe that might make you a little bit sad too. Hey, if something's wrong with your brain, then something's wrong with you. So you're going to feel that way. You're going to express that feeling on the outside if something's wrong. But anyway, let's check it out.
Studies being talked about in newsletters and podcasts show that liberals, particularly female liberals, are more depressed than conservatives. Liberal journalist Derek Thompson wrote a new piece in his newsletter, quote, perhaps for liberal women whose politics revolve around identifying injustice, the smartphone era has meant living inside a near constant reminder of the world's unfairness, and the result is a heightened vulnerability to anxiety and depression. But some new studies add some nuance to this. An experiment done at Tufts University asked people to rate either their mental health or their mood. Conservatives rated their mental health very highly, but when asked about mood, they actually reported slightly worse moods than liberals. So this suggests that both groups may experience similar levels of distress, but they just express it differently?
Yeah, it's fascinating to watch these trend lines play out. And these are trend lines, Jill, that go back nearly 20 years. And then some of these charts, including in that Derek Thompson newsletter, you start to see a change around 2012-ish. So, for those of you who push back, well, it's the Trump era, and so liberals are upset for a variety of reasons.
2012 was not Trump, was it? No, it was not. But the Mayan calendar ended. Anyway, let's not do that.
This traces back further. And that's something that actually researcher and social psychologist Jonathan Haidt has been looking into. He did an interview recently with Barry Weiss of the Free Press.
Girls spend a lot more time on social media than boys. Liberal girls spend a lot more time than conservative girls. That didn't used to be the case, but as we get into the 2010s, when everything gets so politicized, we get into the Great Awakening, we get into the polarization, the illiberalism. As we get into the era, the feeds of the liberal girls gets much more taken over by how terrible the world is, everything's sexist, you're not going to get ahead. And this is like the greatest era of female progress that we're going through. But liberal girls are sort of caught in a set of disempowering ideas.
And one notable thing, Jill, in the chart that was cited in that Derek Thompson newsletter and that Jonathan Haidt cited, is basically you go from liberal women who are most prone to depression, then liberal men, then conservative women, then conservative men. So basically conservative men, least depressed, liberal women, most depressed. But it's more about, at least when you look at the charts and the trend lines the last few years, less about gender and more about politics, because liberal men then follow the liberal women.
There you go. So you know what? Let's talk about that right quick. Since we right here talking about that, the men versus the women, not men versus women, but if the liberal women are the most depressed and the conservative men are the least depressed, then try being a conservative man, because that's going to be who women want the most. Women don't want someone that is like them. They want someone who is different. They don't want you to be just the same as them, crying septum ring over TikTok and Taylor Swift. They don't want that. They want the principal, the big dog, the man in charge. They want the guy that's going to save the day. They want the superhero. They don't want the crime buddy. They don't want that. So yeah, shout out to that study right there. But we all know that. Everybody knows that. We all know it. It is what it is. Hey, I've been to political events a lot. Go to a political event with a bunch of liberals and just look at the people that's there. Observe them and how they behave and how they look. And how they look is often a manifestation of their overall character. It emanates outside. It's inside out. How they feel inside emanates out. So if they sad, angry, depressed, whatever, that's going to come from the inside out, and that's going to manifest as septum rings all over the place, crazy hairstyles, the little bang that go right here, the little scissor bang that has no style to it. You're going to see that. But on the conservative side, we feel better, so we're going to look better outwardly. Your appearance, in my humble opinion, is often driven from internal. But yeah, shout out to that study right there. Do y'all guys agree with that? Is it on point, off point? What's up? Y'all let me know. All right, let's keep moving here. So have you guys seen the Walmart drone delivery system? Would you want this in your neck of the woods? Would you order something from Walmart and have it drone delivered to your backyard? Now, I have a lot of questions. First of all, the security factor. I'm not quite sure that I want the drone to be in my backyard, because what's really going on? Are you taking schematics of my house? What happens when somebody says, okay, we got a suspect running from the police and they went into a backyard or whatever? Like, I just worry about privacy concerns, but maybe I'm just being a little bit too dramatic. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Let's see what's going on here, though, with the drone.
So we are out back waiting for our zip line delivery. We ordered some groceries to be delivered by a drone that's going to fly through the sky.
What are the groceries at? Wow. You got it?
Uh-huh. This is crazy. We're in our backyard.
It's a good size. It's a good size, too.
And here come our groceries.
Always lowering it down.
Yeah.
Why did it land on concrete?
Seriously?
I don't know about that. What do y'all think? I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that too much. Now, me personally, I don't do any kind of delivery. No Uber Eats robots, no drone robots, no driver, no nothing. I'm always the kind of guy that will go get it. I mean, unless it's online. Like, if I can go get that from the store, then I'm going to go get it. But if it's only available online, then I have it, Amazon or whatever. But to go to the store and get something is my first. If there's a thing I want, I'm going to look to see if it's near me. Just like old girl did. Zip ties near me. But anyway, I'm going to look to see if it's near me, and I'm going to go get it. That right there, what do y'all think? Is that a win? Is that a loss? Is it a W? Is it an L? Y'all let me know. What would you do? Okay. Because some people are doing it, some people are doing it just like with the little robots you've seen around, the little delivery robots, the little crazy robots with names. I'm talking about some Jerome. It's like a robot named Jerome anyway. These little food delivery bots are all over the place. People are using them. Waymo, the driverless cars, are being used. Women especially love those Waymos because they don't got to do with the man in the car. They could just have a autonomous, well, not autonomous. I guess if somebody's driving it, I don't know what's going on, but there's no physical driver in the vehicle. Now, to me, that's also a security problem because you could run into a situation where you got to make an invasive maneuver and the vehicle does not understand what's going on. Now you're scrambling to try to call somebody like, yo, the Waymo done stopped and there's a shootout happening right here. So that's going to be kind of dangerous. But overall, people are still using these things. But how do y'all feel about that? Yay or nay? Let me know. James Higgins says, I still walk 10 plus miles to hunt my meat. F Waymo. Hey, man, I'm with it. AMG says, man or bear or Waymo. Hey, if they could pick, they would say Waymo because they feel like that's going to be the least amount of danger that they could put themselves in. That's the truth. That is the truth. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Now, speaking about Walmart and buying things, have you guys thought about buying a Christmas tree? Now, I got a tree in front of my house. What I got is a real tree, but it's a little baby tree, little small tree. It's probably about 8 inches high, maybe about 10. Not even the full foot high. It's like about that big. And I got it in the planter. So it's a real tree. I'm watering it and everything. I'm going to put lights on it in the whole nine. But I like the real tree, but I don't want it in my house. I don't want it inside my house. I'd rather have a small one outside or a big tree outside. If I had enough room on my front porch, I would put a big tree outside. Like a big Christmas tree, but not a full real tree inside my house. A little bit too dangerous. I mean, my tree would never get dry and become a matchstick, but still, people don't understand how to water their plants and then let it get dry, and then it burns like the light will spark or be too much heat from the lights that they put on it, and it becomes a matchstick. Burn your whole house down. But anyway, guess how much just one of these artificial trees in Goodwill cost? Again, we're in Goodwill. This is the thrift store. I would presume that a Christmas tree in Goodwill has been used. Guess how much one of these trees costs? You ready?
Once again, I am getting sticker shock at the Goodwill. Okay, they have these 3 Christmas trees. Now, they are pretty. They're nice and tall. They look new. Y'all are not even going to believe how much Goodwill's asking for these. $250 for each tree.
$250 for a Christmas tree, artificial from Goodwill. No way. Listen, my little tree was nowhere near that. My little tree was like, what? How much I pay for that? Like $40 because it's like a little small tree, but it's a real tree. You can smell the pine, you can water it and everything. And it'll grow right there in the pot that I got it in. I'd much rather do that than to get something like that, a fake tree for $250 from Goodwill. That's crazy. What do you got? Would you buy one? Again, plastic tree. That's right, caveman. Plastic tree, fake, artificial for $250 from Goodwill. Would you buy it? Y'all let me know. And hold on, do I have see if I can find a picture of my tree. It's like a miniature pine. I don't know what to call it. It might not be exactly what it is. Okay. Yeah, it's something like this. Yeah, something like this. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys right quick. All right, hold on. So it's like this right here. You see it? It's like that. And not quite that big. That's real big. It's like this in the pot. So, and think about a tree like this, but it's like maybe at the most a foot high. From the top of the pot to the top of the little spire right there, about a foot. And that tree right there is $15. So to me, that makes more sense than getting a real tree. But I know if you got kids, you want a real tree or like a tall tree, so you could put presents up underneath it. I get it. I get the whole thing. But not for no $250. I ain't doing that. Anyway, let's keep rocking and rolling here.
Overnight, the shock.
Marjorie. I'm going to talk about her.
The images.
I only got enough time. But I'm going to talk about her briefly before I move on, because I know time is limited.
Bombshell. Republican firebrand Marjorie Taylor Greene, once one of President Trump's most vocal defenders, announcing her plans to resign from Congress amid a spiraling feud igniting the president's MAGA base.
I already kind of covered this story a little bit earlier, and for a second time, I'm going to just go ahead and stop right here. But Marjorie is self-serving. To those who talking about MAGA or MEGA or whatever, you listen to too much TikTok. I don't know where you even get that from. Too many memes on the internet. This person is self-serving. This person says they're America first, but went on Tim Dillon's podcast recently, not many years ago. This was like 2 months ago, maybe even last month, and said that she wants the Trump deportation effort to stop or at least slow down because it's impacting the construction industry. So she has a construction company. Basically, when she says something like that, that means that she is using illegal aliens at her construction company. What's MAGA about that? What's MAGA about coming into office 5 years ago and then leaving right after the 5-year mark to get your pension that you guarantee after 5 years? What's MAGA about that? What's MAGA about quitting in the middle of a term, leaving Republicans in the lurch, making it harder for them to get anything passed? Self-serving, upset, thinking you are better than what you are. But anyway, I don't want to go down that road right now because I'm going to get triggered all over again. I'm glad she's gone. You know, people asking me in my DM, it was like, how you feel about Marjorie? What's your opinion? I'm glad she's gone. It's time. It was time for her to go quite a while ago, really. I'm glad she went ahead and left. And to be totally honest, politics not meant to be lifelong anyway. Okay, you shouldn't be having to get wheelchair out of there like Dianne Feinstein and everybody else. You shouldn't be dead at 100 years old on the floor of Congress. Be in there for a while, serve your country, and then go do something else. So it's fine. It's not even a big deal. It's okay. Go be a soccer mom or do something else. But rather than trying to be in the government. Anyway, Tazante says MTG is why women shouldn't be in politics. That's what I'm saying. And if you're going to be a woman in politics, I'm going to need a bull dagger in there. I'm going to need like a really strong iron lady. And still, I don't want you to be a president. Okay. Give me a Kay Ivey for governor. That's okay. Kay Ivey is a Southern lady, a Southern belle, but she got that, you know, that kind of bull dagger energy a little bit as well. I saw her one time burp on camera, loud burp, like it was nothing. It's just like whatever. She didn't know, oh, excuse me. None of that. Burp loud and wet. I like that kind of energy from my female politicians. Be manly, be masculine. Don't be all in your feelings like Marjorie. Anyway, I'm getting triggered. And most certainly don't get in your feelings like this woman who staged a hate hoax against herself.
Are shocking. A woman with an anti-Trump message carved into her torso, slashed all over her body and face. She claimed she was the victim of a politically motivated attack. Now the FBI says it was all just an elaborate hoax. Now, to be clear, that these words right here, not very nice words. I ain't going to say what it says, but that's actually magic marker. But she did get some stuff carved on her with a knife or some kind of blade, some kind of sharp instrument. But that right there is just magic marker. Fabian has the details, and we want to warn you, these images are intense.
Robert says ABL likes big backs. Your mama likes big backs. How about that?
They are horrific images. A woman's body is covered with slashes.
Hey, matter of fact, I like your mama because she a bit back. But anyway, I'm getting distracted.
These images are intense.
They are horrific images. A woman's body is covered with slashes, red with blood. The glamorous woman told cops she was attacked by 3 men who hate President Trump. Written on her stomach with what looks like a Sharpie, the terrible words, "Trump whore." On her back, "Van Drew is racist." The woman worked for Congressman Jeff Van Drew.
Jeff Van Drew, let's pause for a second. Now, this woman staged an anti-Trump, anti-conservative attack on herself. She worked for you in 2022 up until I'm not really sure when. Why would she do this? Why would someone work for a GOP guy? And remember, Jeff Van Drew became conservative in 2020. So she was working for him well after he had already become conservative. So it's not nothing. Why would you work for a conservative House rep straight out of college and then do something like that? It's not TDS, because a person with TDS would want the person who attacked them to be pro-Trump, like Jussie Smollet, the big bodybuilder Nigerian talking about it's back a country. It is back a country in here. It is back a country. We are not in it anyway. It would have been like that if she was having TDS. What happened here, in my humble opinion, is she was trying to get the attention of Jeff Van Drew. Jeff, was that your sugar baby? And if you guys don't know what that is, I'm going to tell you. A sugar baby, without being too graphic, is a young lady that is sponsored by an older man. Sometimes they have relationships where it could be intimate, and sometimes it's not quite that way. But either way, it's an older man sponsoring a younger, pretty lady. That's what this seems like. And maybe, just maybe, Mr. Jeff Van Drew, allegedly, and again, this is just me talking, maybe he was sugar daddy and then cut her off. Cold turkey. She's scrambling. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back at him and get back in his good graces. And it might have been a cop boyfriend that she with at the same time. So she cuts herself up, draws this stuff on herself voluntarily gets hogtied and left on the side of the road in the same town where her cop boyfriend worked. And the Jeff Van Drew stuff would have gotten his attention. So he feels guilty about cutting her off and takes her back and continues to pay her. That might have been the idea here. What do y'all think?
Republican from New Jersey. She's been identified as 26-year-old Natalie Greene. She's also a student at Rutgers Law School. Authorities say they received a 911 call from Greene and another woman saying she'd been attacked here at the Egg Harbor Nature Reserve in New Jersey. Now, Greene told the 911 operator that 3 men approached them around 10 p.m., carved the slashes into her body with a scalpel, and then left her restrained with zip ties. This is an image from body cam footage after officers arrived on the scene.
All that, for real, all of that. Really? Is that what we doing?
Greene's arms are tied behind her back and her feet also zip tied. Now, a shocking twist. Police say it was all a hoax. Her story began to unravel after questioning by the FBI.
I know what I'm looking at. Look at this. Pretty girl on the scene. Okay, nice jewelry. What you don't see in this picture is her Gucci purse or her Maserati. How are you 24, 25 years old as a young lady with a Maserati? And what you do for a living is you are the intern for Jeff Van Drew. Let's just put two and two together, shall we? Let's put it together. This is Sugar Baby all day long.
Questioning by the FBI. Authorities say Greene paid a body artist $500 to cut her body with a scalpel. Court papers say she drew this image and told him exactly what she wanted him to do. Now she's charged with making false statements to federal law enforcement.
The Congressman Natalie Greene worked for sent us a message saying he hopes she's getting the help she needs.
The help she needs is your money again, Jeff Van Drew. That's what she needs is your money. She's trying to get back in your good graces, bro. But if she did all of that to try and get back in, if she did all that to try and get you back, I see why you cut her off. But next time, give her an exit fee, bro, because that right there was crazy. This is the same thing that Shannon Sharp had happened to him. Had a sugar baby, cut her off, cold turkey. Watch this. You assaulted me. And I got videos and what I'm going to put out if you don't give me my money. And what happened? You got to pay $20-something million. Pay the exit fee rather than having to get extorted in the end. But anyway, that's your fault. Don't be like them. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. If you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. All right. So this is going to be about the immigration raid in Charlotte, where people are not coming because, hey, everybody wants to stay home. Everybody wants to hide from immigration. Now, my opinion is if you cannot survive without illegal aliens, then I don't know what to tell you. You better figure something else out because that's not going to be a good business model going forward to rely upon illegal immigration.
Boulevard, none of the businesses produce money this week. Yeah, it's completely lost. We're talking 80% of the everything. 80% of our money is just gone. Right. And the only one that produced was this one.
And how are you feeling?
I cry every morning coming to work. Not for the fact that, of me. I see Christmas is not gonna be an amazing time this year. It feels like a dull Christmas coming up. My birthday's on Thanksgiving this year. The party that was with the family, with the coworkers, got canceled completely as well. So it's just starting to feel, and then for the first time in 24 years that I've been here, I felt real fear. Fear that closes up your chest. Fear that you feel like your bones and you feel like you're dying, literally. And it's because of my mom. So for me, it's I'm trying to smile as much as I can.
I mean, really, I understand, you know what I mean? You got a business and you want to be able to make money, but bro, whose fault is that if people are not showing up because of the migrant raids, of the deportations? That's not anyone else's fault other than them. If they would have been here legally doing the right thing, then they wouldn't be in a situation. So that's on them, man. Like, whatever choice you make in this life, there could be consequences. You can make a choice that can help you out, could be beneficial, or it may not be. It's up to you. You can't break the law, do the wrong thing, and then say that someone else is the reason why you're having a problem now that you got to be able to deal with it. You're facing accountability and you want to try to shift the blame. Oh, it's just, nah, you did it. You showed up illegally. You stayed illegally when we told you not to. Hey, man, you got to deal with it. Now, speaking of illegal aliens, you have a plumbing empire in Michigan, 250 or so. ABL, it was 248 ABL, be exact ABL, whatever. Around 250 illegal aliens were harbored by this plumbing company, and over the course of the Biden border rush, 5 years, they made $74 million from plumbing. Check it out.
This is the business in question that has a Metro Detroit couple in hot water with federal investigators.
It's not just simply an immigration case that's charged, it's also money laundering.
And these are the federal documents investigators say detail the inner workings of the plumbing empire built by Moises Orduña Rios and his wife Raquel over a 5-year period. The Plymouth Township couple owned Orduña Plumbing, Manpower Supply, and allegedly hired undocumented workers, took their passports, and crammed them into tight living quarters. These photos from the criminal complaint. The federal complaint focuses on Rochester, New York, but Michigan, Ohio, and North Carolina are also mentioned as places the company operates. According to the complaint, out of 253 workers, only 6 were in the U.S. legally and permitted to work. The complaint claims the husband and wife generated $74 million in their plumbing business that was based out of Michigan.
So whenever you use money that is unlawful and you deposit it into a bank and you manipulate the banking system, that's money laundering. And that's what the government's alleging here.
Former federal prosecutor Matthew Schneider reviewed the 27-page complaint, which mentions investigators interviewing the workers on numerous occasions and the company's use of the WhatsApp messaging app.
In this case, you've got physical evidence, statement of the people arrested, and the government was listening to the communications of the defendants. So you actually have all 3 of those things. And whenever you have a criminal defendant speaking and being recorded, and the government has that evidence, that's extremely powerful, and the burden on that is really hard to overcome.
So you see what's going on, and you see the living conditions of the people that worked for the company, living on pallets on the ground, you know, crowded in apartments, little attic spaces, basements or whatever. And can we see the house where they lived at? Hold on. That's the house right there, but that don't do it no justice. I'm going to try to pull up the other video right quick, but I got a little bit of time, and show you where they lived at if you didn't see my original video. All right, hold on. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, here we go.
Their big story at 5.
Now, here's the actual home in question. Look at that right there. Beautiful. Look at the acreage. Look at that drop. Okay, you see the flags right there, the Mexican flag and the U.S. flag. At least the U.S. flag is on top of the Mexican flag. At least. Okay, that's a positive thing to take away from this story. I mean, yeah, you were harboring 250 illegal aliens to work for you in deplorable conditions, but at least you have the American flag on top of the Mexican flag. Okay, but again, there goes the property right there, beautifully well maintained, nice trees. Hey, they probably got those trees planted right there to be a barrier, so you really can see the house from the street. Okay, nice decorations. We're blessed. Oh, we're so blessed with slaves and big bags of money. Hey, we blessed because we got this money from the slave labor. That's what happening right there. That's crazy. So yeah, shout out to them. Hopefully they go to jail for a long time. That's my wish. If I could have one wish, I would say, hey, go to jail forever. All right. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, hold on. Let's show this about the Canadian border security. Hey, we're a little bit short-staffed, so we're kind of like automating our processes a little bit. This is the border security of Canada. We're short-staffed. We're resorting to automation. I am not making this stuff up. Let's watch.
In essence, to speed things up, because we are short-staffed, we're allowing people into the country without first doing that security screening.
Okay, hold on a second here. So you're saying that a refugee claimant coming to Canada goes to a machine and says, I want to be a refugee in Canada, hits a button, and they're in the country? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not a machine, it's an application. So the one-touch system, they're given instructions on how to use that. That connects directly with IRCC, and they're given that documentation to complete on their own once they're in the country. We're not doing that.
So basically, they take out their phone, theoretically, and they tap it a few times, and they are now in the country as a refugee accepted by our country.
Yes, we get some basic data from them, and again, we do the biometrics. Beyond that, they're doing that on their own, yes.
So
in essence,
that's not very secure. And the thing about it is they share a northern border with us. Well, they share a border. They got southern border, northern border. So if you're able to come to Canada and it's kind of lax, it's kind of just like whatever, you just, talk to a machine, then that would make it easier for them to come into our country illegally. So Canada, hey man, praying for you guys up there in the great white north. Praying for you guys. Hold on. There was did you guys see this story? Hold on. This was crazy. All right. 2 Texas men were charged because they wanted to invade Haiti and kill all the men and then enslave the women. Did you guys see that story? It's like Connor and Timmy are tripping. They tripping. All right, hold on. Let me show it on the screen right quick. Let me show Connor and Timmy. All right, hold on. And let's throw this up here right quick.
The lawyer for one of 2 North Texas men arrested for allegedly plotting a murderous coup on a Caribbean island is now telling everybody to, quote, hold their horses. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. Federal officials announced the indictments for Gavin Wiesenberg and Tanner Thomas.
Did I call him Tanner before they showed his name? I don't know what I said, but I felt like I said Tanner, or it was something like Tanner. Gavin Wiesenberg, that's an interesting name.
Investigators allege the men were looking to recruit a small army, take a sailboat to an island just a few miles off the coast of Haiti, kill all the men on the island, and enslave the women and children. Fox.
Let me tell you something right now, bro. Let me tell you something right now. Them Haitians are different. Do not do that. Listen, if any of you guys on Reddit or wherever you at having these bright ideas, listen, don't do that. These Haitians will kill you, and it's going to be really brutal. It's going to be brutal. I've heard a story about a Haitian guy, what he did to somebody messing with his sister. It was disgusting what I heard he did. Don't do that. You boys in your basement playing PlayStation are not prepared for that level of savagery. You're going to get hit with a, and you're not going to know nothing else. Before you know it, you're going to be on the spit like this. You're going to be, hey, one of the women you want to try to enslave, go like that. Blow some kind of powder on you, and the next thing you know, you're going to be on the spit like you at Costco chicken, like you at Costco rotisserie chicken like this. You're going to be totally out of your league. So please don't do that. Yeah, it ain't happening, bro. Tanner, Connor, whatever your name is. Hey, man. Y'all got to get off these platforms on these internet and going crazy, thinking that you could do things you can't really do. And again, as I said before, the federales are watching, bro. They know what you're doing. You're in these Discords and Telegrams or wherever you at. They watching all of that. Your FBI agent is on his phone like this every night watching you. Turning your camera on, watching what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, okay, he doing a lot today. They see you, so please stop. Okay. They're eating the dogs. But now, shout out to the Haitians, though. Don't do that, man. Like, I'm being for real. They will hurt you very badly, and it's not going to be, and anybody going to really care, because you did it to yourself. For real. Like, I'm being so serious. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I got one more. This is from our nephew, our adopted nephew, Nick Shirley. Not that Nick. This Nick is a really good guy. Shout out to Nick Shirley. All right, hold on. And Nick, get some rest, bro. You're looking a little bit tired. Get some rest, bro. You know, we want you to be healthy out here. But he went, I believe, it might have been Dearborn, Michigan, Dearborn stand, if I'm not mistaken. And there's some Muslim guys out there, it's Christian guys out there having a little bit of a ruckus, a little bit of a confrontation. And he's able to get a little interview with some of these guys. Check it out.
Now you have all these Islam men yelling Allah Akbar. I have a question for you guys. If America were to get in a war with a country like Iraq, who would you guys defend, America or Iraq? We won't get a war. That's not permissible for us. But at the same time, who would you defend first? We would support our brothers in Iraq. That's the only way. So you wouldn't defend America? We would not defend America. But you're American. But at the same time, listen. At the same time, America is our country because we were born here. But in our Islamic book, we're not allowed to fight with people that are against our religion. So we just take up the jail time. So you would That's not, what we do. So you would not defend America? I would go to jail instead of fighting for America. And who would you defend if we were to go to war against a country like Iraq again? America or Iraq? America. And should that be a troublesome conflict of interest for somebody to be here in America that would rather support another nation like Iraq?
Anybody who supports another nation needs to live in that nation.
All facts, 100% correct. A, if you are in America and things fall apart and you don't want to fight for the country, then what are we doing? Now, if you can't fight, you 1,000 years old, whatever, okay, it's fine. But if you have a choice, if you're able to fight and you choose to fight for a different nation other than America, go live in that nation. Just say that. That'd be my opinion about that. But anyway, shout out to Nick Shirley. Shout out to my man out there who gave a good take. And to the other guy, the Iraqi guy or whatever, hey, man, you might want to try living out there. See how that work out for you. But you're not. You are in Dearborn, Michigan. So all I ask is wherever you come from, when you come to America, be an American. Embrace America. That's all I ask. I'm not asking for much. I don't feel like I'm asking for too much. Embrace America. Be American if you're in America. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Please give the video thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. We got super chats on deck. I'm going to get to those. Then I'm going to get to calls. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And of course, you guys, happy early Thanksgiving. Since I'm here right now, I might as well say it to you. And I'll probably be here will I be here Wednesday? We'll see. I'll let you guys know. But thank you to Apple Barker, All Puff Daddy, who says, whatever the controversy over MTG is, I am grateful for all that she did for the J6ers. Now they're free. She deserves credit. So does President Trump. Well, was it Marjorie that freed him or was it Trump that freed him? Did Trump give him the pardon or was it Marjorie that gave him the pardon? I don't think she deserves credit for that, in my humble opinion. But I appreciate her support and the way she did support. I appreciate her votes. I appreciate her voice. It was a good run. 5 years in the House, that's not bad. 5 years, you became a star. You got a bunch of money. You did your job. Okay, now it's time to go. That's fine. We said we want term limits, so this is an example of that. Unfortunately, she quit right in the middle of a term, a 2-year term. You couldn't just do your whole term. You got a 2-year term in the House. Just finished the last year of your term. But she didn't want to get humiliated when she lost, or she didn't want to have to say she's not running and still be there, just for another year. Anyway, thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, why do Republicans fight each other while Democrats sit together? I'm worried about the midterms. What's your prediction? What's word on the street? Well, I don't know about the Democrats specifically, but you have some Republicans who have their own ulterior motive. And you got morons that are in the party that sometimes do crazy things, like a Marjorie. Those are the minority. And when they get out of line, they got to get put back in line. As simple as that. We're not just going to support someone doing something like that when you're going against the entire party. When you're trying to go against everything you built up, you got to get up out of here ASAP. Thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, I would like to know how ABL fans who are military veterans feel about those Democrat senators calling on U.S. military personnel to disobey Trump. That's a good question, because there was a video where Democrat senators were talking about, oh, you don't got to follow that order, all this, that, and the third. So if you saw that video, what's your opinion about that video? Matter of fact, do I have it here? I don't want to spend too much time on that, but if I can show it to you guys, I will. Democrat senator military, that might come up. Okay. I found it right there. Thank you, CJ Pearson. I appreciate you for reposting that. All right. Let's show this right quick. Just 1 minute, and then I'm going to keep rocking with the super chats and the calls. Let's get a little bit of volume and let it rock.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly. Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy. Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk. This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army, or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution, and who we are as Americans. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
All right, there we go. So that's the video in question. What's your opinion about that? I saw some of the comments said that I was mad, I was peed off. You know, hey, that's the video right there. Democratic senators who are also veterans telling active duty, hey, don't worry about that. If you don't like, and the message is that if you think something is unlawful, then buck on them. That's just going to get in the way. You're going to interrupt the business of military, or not the business of military. You interrupt the procedure of military. Put it to you that way. Take it to Mauricio, who says Democrats stop at nothing and Republicans will just do nothing. All Natural 7 says the city of Charlotte giving $100,000 to Hispanic community because they were affected by the raid and unable to open their businesses. They did no such thing during scamdemic when people lost their business. They sure didn't. And that right there, the $100,000, that's reparations right there. So Hispanics get reparations immediately. Something happens. Oh, we were damaged by this. Okay, here goes some money. Boom, reparations. Black folks, 1865, crickets. So when people talk about that discussion, reparations, I'm like, that ship done been sailed. Whatever they were going to give is whatever they have given, and it ain't going to be no more coming. That gets Ron Henderson, who says, get your license by phone, is why we have so many illegal CDL drivers. They did it by phone. No vote tie by phone. No. Thank you to Ron, who says, President Trump is just a master negotiator. He's the boss, 100%. Thank you to Lothair, who says, Crowder is not a man. He's an immature child, and he's an abusive person. It has something to do with sexuality. Well, sexuality got something to do with it. If you're confused about whether you're gay or straight, you don't know what you want to do. That points to some mental confusion if you got that going on. Now, if you know who you are and you cool with that, you secure in that, that's a different story. But if you kind of squabbling with your own self, that's called confusion because you're confused. You're a confused person. Thank you to Mr. Dog, who says, why aren't leftists happier about our government exposing fraud rings, autistic Somalian money, etc., COVID relief money, USA? Yeah. Hey, they don't want that to be out there because they also benefit from the scam money. Let's not be confused. They want that money as well for themselves. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says the white liberal Karen is probably the most insane among the communist Democrats, 100%. Thank you to Lothair, who says Trump and Mamdani trying to fix New York together. They're putting the differences aside to further their hometown pride, I suppose. And I appreciate that 100%. Absolutely. All righty. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And the phone lines are open. And I got a call right here. Let's go to 818. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, I'm Power Ranger X from California.
All right, man. What's going on?
I wanted to talk about the Islam versus Christianity thing.
Okay.
All right, so I want to say this. I'd say Christianity is more fake, and the people that practice Christianity is more evil than Islamists. Here's why. The Quran, I read the Quran as a Christianity guy myself. I'm all Christian first, but I read the Quran in my college days here in LA, and I found something very interesting in my English class, and the English class teacher was a beautiful white girl. But I did read parts of the Quran in that book. It's about a girl, it's like a girl and a whale. But I read the whole book, I did the work on it for the class, and I found something very interesting. Islam promotes nothing but good, healthy positivity. In Christianity books, we know there's a lot of fake stuff in there, like two men and women were created, right? And then somebody blew sand into somebody's face, something like that. Remember that parts of the story? Well, that's fake, right? Well, I didn't find any fake parts in the Quran. Well, specifically in that book what I did for the English teacher. Islam is more fine-tuned and healthy than Christianity. And we know a lot of Christian folks that praise Christianity are indeed criminals. In fact, there's 3 in my own family that are straight criminals, murderers. I almost died from these Christian sons of bees. Excuse my language.
Let's pause. Pause for a second. Are there no Islamic criminals?
Yeah, there is Islamic criminals, 911, yes.
So I'm not understanding the connection between Christianity and criminality when there are also Islamic criminals.
I'll tell you this. People that preach Christianity are the ones that stole from me when from my own property.
So it's personal. Okay, I understand. I get it.
Yeah, so they stole $500. They preach Christianity. It's okay. It's okay to steal from Americans, from Christians' point of view. It's totally okay.
Okay, hey, there we go. I understand. You got a personal issue. I understand. I get it.
But I'm not Islamist. I want you to understand that I am not Islamist by any chance. I'm Christian. I was raised as a Christian. But when I did that college work when I learned about Islam, I was like, wow, it's just much better than what I thought about Christianity. And that was like 10, 15 years back.
So is Islam...
I just wanted to elaborate a little bit.
Is Islam better than Christianity in your opinion?
I believe Islam is not promoted as the negative thing that we're used to seeing.
Is it better than Christianity?
No, it's much healthier. That Quran piece I read was so much healthier than
the question.
One
more time. The question is Islam better than Christianity? Yes or no, please.
Yes, I think Islam is better than Christianity, 100%.
So my next question is, why are you still Christian then, if Islam is better?
I don't really support. I don't really read the Christian books at all. But I was, as a little boy, I was doing all the Christian stuff.
You just said you Christian though. You just said, hey, don't get it confused. I'm still Christian. So are you Christian or not?
No, I'm atheist. I don't believe in
okay,
God
there we
or
go
anything
then.
like that.
There we go. Okay.
But I'm saying Islam is not terrible as a lot of other media sources has put it. And unfortunately for that Islamist guy that's saying, I won't defend America. Well, we might have to change his brain on that because, I am for the United States. I'm for any religion. Like, I could care less about if you believe in dogs.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate it.
Good. Bye.
All righty, there we go. Am I tripping? He did say he was Christian, didn't he? Then he said he's atheist. Get your story right, bro. 860 962.
Hey, Anthony. I just got something that Muslim apologist who was just on. Buddy, you went to a liberal college and learned it from a liberal professor. What I suggest you do is get your Anthony, get your tail on an airplane, go over to a wonderful Islamic country and enjoy yourself. Have a ball. You're going to learn something. You're in for a rude awakening. Muhammad was born a street beggar. Okay? That's why he doesn't like dogs, because dogs were the old alarm system. That's what, but he couldn't do that. So he adapted and improvised his Quran to fit the needs of the time and what he wanted to accomplish. It's not a book of God. And you know how you can say that? Because taqiyya, the sirah, the sunnah, taqiyya. It is permissible to lie to protect Islam, not God, Islam. You follow me?
I hear you.
God doesn't need me to lie for him. He's God. He doesn't need to hide behind the lies of a puny man, but a criminal that's out to rule the world does. No Muslim that's ever had a near-death experience stays in Islam. I didn't know that until I watched the YouTube video. And the only reason I was watching it is because it was two Arab guys speaking with British accents. It was hilarious. Well, actually, they were arguing and threatening each other with death. But it's still funny. Anyway, how you doing, Anthony?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
No, I could, but nobody listens, so who cares?
That's right.
And for all your callers out there who don't know, I'm working on a peace deal with Russia. I've got more experience in making peace with Russia than all of Washington, D.C. combined. Hopefully they'll make it. Then you can interview me.
There it is.
You have a good night, Anthony. Keep up the good work.
Thanks for the call, man.
God
Appreciate
bless. Bye-bye.
The calls are off to a great start tonight. Shout out to you guys. 603 on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hey, what's up, ABL? It's Josh over in New Hampshire. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Hey, man, I got to say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you called it. You absolutely called it with this lady. She is out now. She's not running again. And the statistics she came up with completely blew my mind. They really did. Like, she was pulling them out of thin air. Hey, ABL, did you know 20% of car crashes, just about 20% of car crashes, were from tire failure? And no, by the way, I'm lying. It's not like public cars or anything like that. That's from the 2024 NASCAR Cup season. But she would do that, though. That's what she did. That's 100% what she did. She is just out of her mind. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, it fits her perfectly now thanks to President Trump. But she's crazy. I'm glad she's gone. I'm sorry. I liked her at first, man. I liked her at first. But one big thing, and I've been meaning to call you, actually. I know it was about a month ago, but up here in Manchester, New Hampshire, we had the No Kings protest. What was it, like last month? And I go there, and I'm recording, and these people, it doesn't feel real being there. They're so brainwashed. And by the way, if you mind if I do my plug, by the way, if I plug my Instagram in here?
Go for it.
It's JoshMike1988, JoshMike 1988. Give me a follow on Instagram. You'll see the things that I saw. But it was just crazy how these people are just so brainwashed. It did not feel real. I was so nervous being there. I thought someone was going to hurt me, by the way. And all I do is just go around asking people questions. I tell them I'm just an independent reporter. And there was this one young girl, actually, if you look in the video, and I just asked her, hey, what's fascism to you? She just goes, oh, my God, and then picks up her sign and walks away. And then I'm reading one sign, and this is the funny part if you look in the video. One sign, I'm just reading there, and I'm looking at this one girl, or one elderly lady. I go, hey, what brings you out here today? She turns around and yells at me or something, and I go, did you say I'm a piece of work? Hey, thanks, my mom says the same thing. Like, the one thing I've noticed about these No King protests, they're old white boomers. That's all they are. I feel like once the boomer generation is gone, I feel we're going to have a much more red, less brainwashed America. That's how I don't know. What do you think about that? Am I being too general, though? Like, what do you think about that? A lot of boomers are liberal, wouldn't you say?
Well, here's the thing about it. If you're living in a liberal place and you got boomers, they're going to be on the left. Now, if you're in the conservative place like where I live, the boomers hold society together. They're the ones out there voting all the time. It don't matter what it is. It could be for dog catcher. You could be voting for a brand new Publix grocery store in your neighborhood. They vote on everything. They're everywhere. They're the HOA. They run it. Now, when they die off, we got to do what we can do to replace them in the conservative area. But the liberal areas, hey, man, it's Gotham City at this point.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like I said, especially here in Manchester, New Hampshire, where it's too blue for me, man. It's too blue. With all due respect, I think it'd be too blue for you. And I know you're out in Tennessee, and that's a very red state. But in Memphis, I think Manchester will put Memphis to shame. You know what I mean? Well, hey, man, thanks for the call. I'll catch up with you later, huh?
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yep, bye.
Hey, great caller. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep going here. Let's go to 859 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, ABL, how's it going? It's a Luciferian Libertarian friend here. The combination of Hami Ali and Anton LaVey. So I had to park for this one. So, like last time, I wasn't so scatterbrained. I'm always scatterbrained, my brother. So what's up, my brother?
Everything's good, man. About yourself?
I like the fact that Mamdani, Trump are actually getting along. Totally different political differences. Of course, the mainstream media had to lie and say, Trump agreed he was a fascist. No, he literally didn't say that. He said maybe over time he would disagree. Isn't that crazy?
Right, yeah.
And of course,
go ahead.
Yeah, and you're not the only person. There's even leftist creators that I kind of call up and troll and, have voice my opinion just like you. Even agree with me. It's like, why is CNN they have to lie about this? We watched the full clip. Like, really, they have to lie about it. It's ridiculous and insane. And they think they can get away with it. It's sad,
Right, of course.
And somebody in the comment section, when I made that comment, said, keep your enemies closer. And it's like, it makes sense. You have to have some civil agreements or disagreements at the exact same time. You got to come to the table with some things. But it makes sense. You never know what she's up to or what he's up to. And I called up about Mamdani. I'm not exactly a fan of communism because I'm not exactly a fan of socialism or whatever kind of, what do they call it these days? Because there's different types, and I've read into the different types. It's done in different ways, and Democrat socialism that he's trying to pull off is more of like a European kind of like Germany kind of thing, which I don't know how that would work. But it might.
Hold on. Before you continue, now you're talking about it's like a European Germany kind of thing. Now, have they tried that in Germany before?
Yeah, not exactly. It didn't work out, but they're talking about like modern day. They're actually no joke. Like a lot of the same.
But hold on. I was hold on.
Weirdly gonna follow it. It's weird. I know it's weird.
Okay, but have they tried it in Germany before? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
sadly, yeah.
and it didn't work very well, did it?
Not exactly, yeah.
Right.
But I want to be honest with you, they take some parts of it, even also with its love, the Autobahn, some of the social programs, they still use today. Weird. I know it's weird. I get it. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work out. I'm against. I'm against going to New York for obvious reasons. If I'm a business owner, you know why, and I hope they have agree to disagreement on some things. And that whole comment about the man thing, Crowder is an abusive narcissist, and he's a very manipulative person who is not honest. A man is very honest and truthful with himself and stoicism. Yeah, I'm very scatterbrained. Yeah, I'm usually taking blinkers when I'm calling. But I'm true to myself, and I'm willing to take a bullet for my family, my friends, my wife, and my kid. And what it takes to be a man is his principles and where he stands on. I was raised by, I didn't have a father in my life, so I had like a lot of football coaches and like a lot of, male influences who are my uncles. So I'm proud of them, and I've always been proud of who I am. We may have disagreements with my uncles, my relatives, but it is what it is, man. Hey, thank you very much for taking my phone call, ABL. Much love to you, and go ahead and take a blinker, bro. Much love, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Much love. See ya.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Right on. So, yeah, socialism, communism is tried and tried and tried. It fails and fails and fails. 310, line speaker to 310.
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Oh, another big week, brother. I tell you, I can't stand to see we have enemies inside the gates. I'm sorry, with these Democrat politicians trying to get the servicemen to not accept orders from the commander in chief. It's like he was right in saying that this is sedition. It is. I don't care if you was in the service or not. If you're telling someone you have an oath to follow the orders of your commander in chief, he is not someone to give you an illegal order. He is the commander in chief of all the armed services. That said, so you are supposed to follow the orders. What it is this: is that they don't like the fact that we're finally trying to clean up this act in America. The illegals, they know that this president is serious about getting you out. We are serious about restoring some sense of order within America. We are serious to get these criminals off our streets. I am sick and tired of seeing every time that a criminal go in, a criminal might have been arrested 75 times, like the guy that lit the fire on the woman in Chicago and everything. This guy was let out, and he did this heinous act. And what the judge is going to say? They put an ankle monitor around his leg. Come on, man. I'm sorry. We need to have instant justice. People like this, we need to have right in the court, straight to the gallows. I'm serious. We just need to get back to that. People need to understand that there are consequences from your actions, and these people who are in our country, who are deep inside our country, who claim to be citizens of these United States, not willing to lay down their life or defend this country if needed to be, you need to go. I'm sorry, this is not your country. You just here just grifting off of the Americans who are here trying to live their life in an honest, thoughtful, loving way, and these people are taking advantage of us. I'm sick of these people taking advantage of me. And I know that you are too. We Americans who love our country are sick of this. And the fact that these people are grifting, the Somalians and everything like that, man, what a grift. I mean, and Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, in his state, they're doing this here stuff. Come on now, they're allowing this here stuff. They're allowing it. This is criminal. This is straight out criminal. From the highest to the lowest, it's criminal. And I'm sick of this here stuff. The more our president keep going forward, the more that we find out. We find out about all this here crap. This is why they didn't want him in here. This is why they tried to unalive him. This is why. This is why. And the thing about it is this, is that, you know what, America, we need to continue to be watchful and prayerful. Watch your back out there. These people, are I'm telling you, these people are out to get us. And if we're not going to be sleeping. I'm not going to be sleeping. And the fact that these people who continue to try to be, sweet and kind and everything like that. Look, I'm a Christian. You know what? I'm not gonna suck out to anything that's not biblical in that sense. You know what I'm saying? I would defend my life, my family, my country. The citizens of these United States, we will defend ourselves. Like I said, I pulled mine out from the river and got them oiled up and ready if need be. But you know what? We're not going to be playing around here. These people who trying to take our country, no. They take my money, our money, no. Stop all this here stuff. These senators and representatives saying all this here stuff, they need to be eliminated too. I'm just talking about out of the office. And like I said, and Trump was just talking about the way it was when George Washington was out there. Benedict Arnold, oh no, you be dealt with. You need to be dealt with. So anyway, brother, I'm just continuing to pray for our country, beloved. We're gonna be okay. we are going to be okay because we are seeing what's going on. We are seeing what's going on today. But America, beloveds, all of you out there, stay prayerful. Pray for our president. Pray for this country. Pray for the people to get their minds right. And that one lady is talking about that sex is in the mind. No, her mind is whacked. Her mind is totally whacked. And I don't listen to no quacks like that. But anyway, God bless you, my brother. I just love you, brother, and love everybody in the chat. God bless you, man. God bless America. Keep praying, because God has it. He has not forgotten us. He has not forgotten us. So God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
You too, sir.
All right. Great call. Shout out to the caller. You guys are fantastic. Fantastic calls tonight. Once we get to you on line 857.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes. I saw you posted a video, man, YouTube, that said that was some sort of ranting about affordable housing, about rental freeze.
Oh, you saw that, huh?
I saw that, but actually, you very slick because you edited the video and you didn't let me finish.
Wait. Before you do that, what we gonna do? We're gonna put the whole thing out so people can see the short one and then go to the long one.
You caught it though. You caught the video though.
Not listening. What we're going to do is put the full talk between you and I out that will link to the short video. Okay?
Yeah, but we didn't let me finish. That's what I said. When I was going to explain to you, you hang up. That's my point.
Okay,
so I'm gonna help you out.
Okay. So what did you
There's
not
no
say?
way
No, stop. I'm gonna run this. Okay, just be quiet.
Oh, so now
be quiet. Let me answer. Look, I'm gonna give you the floor.
So
but
you will not
just stop talking. Just shut up for a second because what I gotta do is I gotta cue it up. Don't try to run the show. Just be quiet and let me ask you the question. Let me ask you the question. Be quiet. Quiet. So, what did you not say last time you want to say right now?
Okay, so let me. Are you gonna let me talk or not?
Just say it. Come on.
So gentrification. There's any correlation between gentrification and inflation?
Are you asking me the question?
I'm asking you. I'm telling you. I'm asking you.
Are you telling me or asking me? Excuse me. Are you telling me or asking me?
The ranting was that you said is because I said that inflation has nothing to do with increase the value of homes, and I said not in case of New York and not in case of on what is happening right now in the United States. And I said that was my question that I was going to mention to you was going to tell you gentrification in the United States has nothing to do with inflation, has to do with opportunity.
You're conflating. Excuse me. No. Wait. No. I'm gonna jump in, and then you get the floor after I'm done. So, gentrification and inflation, that's different things, but they could be related depending upon what's going on. But just because you have gentrification does not mean there's always inflation. That's not necessarily how that goes. But inflation can be a contributing factor to gentrification. But just because you have higher rent does not mean there's gentrification going on at the same time. So you're conflating different ideas together. Just focus on rent increasing. Rent increase does not always mean gentrification.
Okay, 200 and 300% of rent increase have nothing to do with gentrification?
No, you're not listening. You don't listen. What I said was a rent increase may not be gentrification because you could already have a neighborhood that's a certain way that's gentrified already, and then they rent increase. You're talking about things that aren't necessarily linked together.
Let me ask you this.
But you got to stop talking, though. You got to just shut your mouth for a second so I can talk, so you can listen. So because when you don't listen, you keep talking in circles because you're trying to get a point that you're not ever hearing because you don't listen. Go ahead, though.
Okay, so why do you think Bronx, Harlem, let's say, Queens, I was one of the people who want to live in Queens. Let's say the example of Bronx and Harlem. Why those neighborhoods in the 90s were not desirable, but they are so desirable to live now?
Because they got
Brooklyn. Let's talk about Brooklyn. Let's talk about Brooklyn. Let's talk about downtown.
No. I'm gonna answer the question that you asked me. I'm gonna answer the question. No. I'm gonna answer the question first. You asked me a question. I'm gonna answer the question, and then once I'm done, you can talk. So, The reason why most of these neighborhoods, for the most part, are more desirable now is because they've been fixed up. There's more money in it. You got an abandoned property that somebody bought and they fixed up, and people want to move to the city. There's a renewed interest in moving to the city, and these neighborhoods have been fixed up. Therefore, people are going to move to them because they're better, they've been fixed up, and they're desirable to live now.
Okay, so if the inflation rate is high, what is the correlation between this situation?
You're not listening. I already told you this. You're asking me to say, listen, stop, shut up, stop. What I just said was you're not listening and you're not hearing what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is inflation may or may not be part of gentrification.
Yeah, that it was.
But see, look, you got to stop talking. Like this dude, something wrong with you, man. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Did you hear what I just said? What did I just say? Excuse me, sir. What did I just say?
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir. Excuse me. What did I just say?
People is a renewal to live in the city.
You're not listening. All right. So, just make your point because we don't got all night for you not to be listening.
But it's more than that. But you see, you're just talking. You know. Let me
look. Just because I'm trying to talk while you're talking. So, just make your point now.
Okay. So there's many variables. One of the variables is that as more companies started going to New York, more high-tech companies, biotech, you name it, all the investment companies went to New York City, Manhattan. As people could not afford to live in Manhattan anymore, they decided to move into this neighborhood, into the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Harlem. That's one thing. As they were moving into these neighborhoods, people with higher incomes started price out people with lower income. Let's, for example, somebody that makes $150,000 as a venture capitalist that lives in Manhattan can't afford Manhattan anymore where you want to live. It could live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo in downtown Brooklyn for $1.9 million. As it's rented, is $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 a month. The person that's been living in Brooklyn all the time, all their life for generations, now can no longer afford to live in that area. Got to move way out, maybe upstate New York, maybe, I don't know, move far out. That's the reason. So a lot of people, a lot of these higher earners started moving into this neighborhood because they're safer, they're cleaner, a lot of investment going there. Has nothing to do, very little to do with inflation. Let me finish.
No, because I've already, you're repeating what I've already just got done saying. The exact same thing you said, I already said. So I don't understand what the problem is. You just said the exact same thing I said. You're talking about people moving there because it's more desirable and they can't afford Manhattan, so they want to go to the places that got fixed up. I just said that. So what are you saying that's different than what I said?
So what did I say that was wrong when you said that was ranting? What did I say that was wrong?
I don't really remember. What's the?
Now you don't remember.
Nah, what was the issue? What are you trying to make? What's your point? What's your point right now? What did you want to get across that you didn't get across the first time?
Well, what I was mentioning to you, that rent freeze won't change the outcome of repairs for the owners to repair their apartments in New York, because the rent is already high. Somebody, if Mamdani decided to pass this bill, and the rent in a 1-bedroom apartment is $1,800 to $2,000, won't go any higher anytime sooner. So
see, you don't understand. Okay, so look. What you don't understand is what goes into a rent. What goes into the price of rent. You don't understand that. You think that if you do a rent freeze, that is stops gentrification from happening, which is a good thing for those who live there. But you don't understand what goes into a rent price, because every year things go up in price. Every year things there's reasons beyond just inflation why a price of rent would go up, but that's part of it. So if you do a rent freeze, there's no room for inflation at all.
What are you talking?
Listen, if you do a rent freeze, shut up, quiet, shut your fat mouth for a second. I'm gonna just talk and can't nobody hear you at all. I can't hear you. Nobody can hear you. If you do a rent freeze and rent cannot go up, there is no room for any fluctuation in the cost to own the property. And that is going to happen regardless of market factors or not. You think that rent will only go up because a neighborhood becomes gentrified, it becomes more desirable, and the market dictates that. That's not the only way rent goes up. Yes, that is the way, but it ain't the only way. And since you think that's the only way, you don't understand anything else that goes into a rent price. Inflation is part of it because you got to make repairs. You got to do things. Property taxes go up. So look, you're going to have higher taxes, higher cost of repairs. That will mandate a rent price going up. The other factor, among other factors, would be the market. Just because the market impacts it does not mean that inflation has no impact.
You don't even know what.
But see, look, though, the whole time you were talking, listen, I talked that whole time he was still talking. That's crazy. So, matter of fact, we don't have much time left. Make your point, and then that'll be a wrap for you. So like what you got to do right now is just stop talking for a second, okay? And then start. Go ahead.
So the rent has increased 300%. That's enough rental value to have a rent free.
No, that's not how that works
for
at all.
5 years. That's enough rent value. Number one, you don't even understand the bill. The bill does not mean that. But you're gonna allow me to you're gonna listen.
Go ahead.
It's time for you to listen.
Finish.
If you read the bill, it's not everywhere is gonna be a rent freeze. It's gonna be in a specific location, and it is a rent freeze. The rent freeze has to be according to inflation and according to people can afford. That's one. The second thing, there's gonna be more vouchers that could help people pay this rent. So it's not like the whole thing's gonna be a rent freeze and New York's gonna collapse. Look, Boston have rent control in the past for 19 years. As soon as they remove rent control, people have to move out of Boston because they can't afford an apartment in Boston. In any Bostonians on your show, to call next week if I'm telling a lie. So yes, a lot of companies decided not to invest in real estate, build new buildings, but building new buildings doesn't mean that the rent will go down. It's a high demand for people to pay higher prices. So I'm with Mamdani on that one. I think it's a good idea as long as it's not done disproportionately. If it's done accordingly, it could work. That's what he went to make with Trump because he knows. He knows.
Who knows what?
Trump knows that people cannot afford to live in those neighborhoods. He knows that. So you need some sort of rent control.
So do you think that? Excuse me. Do you think that Trump thinks that rent freezes are good?
Hey, look, it's good for business because you're going to have more people.
I asked you a question. I said, do you think Trump, not you, do you think?
I don't know what Trump thinks, but he met with the guy. He told the guy.
So what's that got to do with him meeting them? Just because I meet with you don't mean I agree with you.
But they not met with the guy?
He met with him. What they got to do with it?
So that means they agree on something they met, right?
They may agree on some things, but
okay.
Excuse me. No. That's you're kind of silly. They may agree on some things potentially, but what do they agree on? You don't know that. You have no way of knowing that. You think because they may agree on some things that they agree with what you agree with. That don't mean anything. I just asked you if you agree with the rent freeze, and you say you don't know. So that's enough. But have a nice day. Thank you for the call. All right, but yeah, man, these guys got to stop being retarded. Like just because market prices. Okay, let's talk about it for a second. Okay, he's conflating inflation causing rents to rise with market factors causing rent to rise. These are two separate things. Just because one exists does not mean the other one cannot exist. They're not mutually exclusive. Like, okay, look, you can have the market price go up in the place because it's more desirable. It got fixed up. That's called gentrification, right? If you got a place that was like kind of low and kind of poverty stricken, they fix it up. It becomes more expensive. Those who live there can't afford to live there and they're priced out. That's one way that rents go up. But there's also other factors that go into it. Let's just say the rent has already gone up, gentrification, and now it's going up more. Why is it going up more? Because of market factors, of course, but also because everything goes up. We're talking about home ownership. If I own my home, which I do, and I'm paying X amount for the maintenance on my home in 2025, will that same dollar amount be applicable in 10 years? I think it might go up. So if I rented my property out, I would have to raise the rent to match the cost of being able to maintain it. If my taxes go up, I just did a video where taxes went up in the Chicago neighborhood by 236%. Personal property tax. So my mortgage is one thing, but now I got to pay that higher tax expense. If I don't raise the rent on what I'm renting out, how am I going to be able to pay it? See? But when you don't understand things, you'll just kind of resort to one talking point and hammer on that and think nothing else actually matters. There are a variety of factors that's going to influence the rent price, the market desirability just being one of them among many. But did I get that right? Did I get that wrong? Let me know in the comments. All right. They're repeating. See, he kept repeating himself because he's not listening. That's what happens. Because someone can tell you something within the first 2 seconds of talking to him, you're going to spend 10 minutes going back and forth because they didn't hear what you said the first time. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Very simple. But anyway, 215, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, can you hear me?
I heard you well.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay. I saw your video today on Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that she's stepping down from office. Basically, what's that word? Yeah, she's pretty much leaving Congress. And honestly, the way I look at it, I don't feel any kind of way. I'm just like, hey, if that's what she wants to do, so be it. Because if she pretty much was another one that just turned against Donald Trump, basically trying to spread the rumors that he's being controlled by Israel when he's actually not. Nobody controls him. He's being controlled by Israel, and basically he's just starting to side with the left and just started apologizing on CNN. And I still don't know what she apologized for. It's like she's trying to pander to the left now.
It was weird. She's weird. I think that it's time for her to go. I hope that she doesn't try to do anything else. I don't want to see a presidential run. I don't want to see a Senate run. I don't want to see a governor run. In Georgia, she's going to get completely destroyed. Nobody really likes her like that. They liked her in her role as a House rep. But I think her time has come and gone as a political person.
Yeah, and honestly, I want to say about all these people that want to, all of a sudden, like all these people who are like, who claim to be conservative and all of a sudden want to turn against Donald Trump, spreading all the rumors saying he's controlled by Israel. It's crazy because a few months ago, the election, they got the landslide victory. They got what they wanted. Democrats have no power. And all of a sudden, it's like they all turn against him because they feel like, oh, he's being controlled by Israel, start entertaining all the rumors. And the whole time, it's like they need a new boogeyman. Like for all these people who are being outraged about the Epstein files, when I tell them that I don't really care about that because it doesn't impact my life whatsoever, everybody just all of a sudden they can't talk to me no more. They get triggered. They say, how can you say that? You don't want the victims to have justice? I said, it's in the hands of the FBI and the DOJ. Jeffrey Epstein was locked up. He's dead. Ghislaine Maxwell got 20 years. They're still investigating. And it's like, my fault. The point I'm making is like, everybody's all of a sudden trying to spread the rumor about Donald Trump life still hasn't gotten better for Donald Trump. He's too focused on foreign interests. My thing is, people need to be more self-sufficient. Stop relying on the government to do something for you. Why don't you go out and make your life better? Do something for yourself. Don't wait for Donald Trump to do something for you. The whole 4 years Joe Biden was in office, did I choose to stop making money and choose to live poor just because the economy was terrible? No. I got off my rear end. I still got out, made a decent amount of money.
Exactly. That's the way it's supposed to go. I mean, you can't be worried about, that person, whatever's going on, you still got to be able to go out there every day, show up.
Be productive.
That's it, every day.
Exactly. And it's like, one thing I've learned is people just, it's like they have all these excuses. They want to blame Israel for why they're not productive in life. I'm like, Israel's not stopping you from being productive.
Exactly. 100%.
So, and that's what got me, that's what I don't like about it, is that we're all of a sudden blaming all our problems. First it was the white man, now we're blaming all our problems on Israel. So I wonder what's the next boogeyman. And honestly, I see it from a lot of Trump supporters too, or people who claim to be, blaming all their problems on somebody else now.
Yep.
But my final message, I'm gonna hang up the phone call. Is they say pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, they need to take use that advice. Sorry, I'm stuttering. They need to utilize their own empathy. Sorry, ABL. You have a good night. I'm stuttering too much.
Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right, you have a good one.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's go one more. 718, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Brother James. How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Yeah, so I'm from New York. That guy don't know what he's talking about. What a lot of people don't understand is your zoning is the reason why most of your rents are high in a lot of blue cities. Because you ever heard of restricted zoning?
Yes.
So that's what causes rent to go extremely high. So when you couple that with rent stabilization and rent control, you get high rents. And then with a rent freeze, it's going to be a disaster. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And he sounds like he's from another country, so maybe he should go back to his socialist country instead of coming here trying to bring that here. Like, so the thing about it is he tried to shut you down, but you know what you're talking about. You do research and everything on your platform, and you discuss policy. One thing I know about ABL, he don't just run off with the mouth like a lot of these other people out here. He actually verified, do research. Like the whole Marjorie Taylor Greene, you were spot on. You were spot on. How you America first when you're giving American jobs that you control to illegal aliens? Like, and people don't get that. She was Israel, standing at the Israel podium. Then, that's not the thing that's popping no more. So now I'm gonna be an anti-Israel. Like you just can't make this stuff up. But ABL, you are spot on. These people don't understand policies. That's why Houston got lower rents than most major cities, because they don't have a zoning law. No zoning equal cheaper rent means people can build more. You know how they say drill, baby, drill? Build, baby, build. I'm going to land right there. Thank you, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. All right, the phone lines, y'all calling me a lot tonight. That's funny. Let's go to 301. Your line speaker to 301.
Hey, this is Brown.
All righty, what's happening?
Not much. I'm a vet, and that video that came out with those cats talking about sedition and all that stuff like that. As a military member, you do training every 3 months, right? Mm-hmm. And it incorporates that UCNJ and all that jazz like that, right? You kind of hear about it all the time. And these clowns put that stuff out there, right? And it's kind of vexing a little bit because you got, privates, right? Airmen that are listening to that kind of crap. Because right now, we're all political now. Before, when I was in, I wouldn't even watch any TV because I was in the mix already. So that's all I want to say, dude. Because that Ivan guy threw me off. So I'm all jacked up.
Thank you for your call, man. Huh?
All right, man. You have a good evening and stuff, bro. But thanks a lot, man. I've been watching it for about 8 years, man. And thanks a lot, bro. That guy is here. Never changed. The same freaking. I learn a lot from you, but this guy is like going back in time. It's like, dude, man, move on, fool. Can't you tell what's going on? New York is jacked up. He should have been gone, right? I remember him talking about how much money he was making, right? I thought he was successful. Get the heck out of there. Yeah, just saying. All right, man. You have a good evening, bro.
Thanks for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Great call. Okay, let's do one more. I'm waiting for my time. I'm past my bedtime. I'm up all night right now. Let's do. Once I get you online, 267.
Oh, hey, what's going on, man? ABL?
That's me.
Oh, hey, I'm surprised I got through, man. First time calling, man, but I've been listening to your show. But I was wondering, did you ever hear about that that congresswoman in Tennessee? Instead of talking about she hate Nashville and the country music and all that stuff, and got caught, and I'm still now lying about it.
I saw that, but I didn't really talk about it because I think that might not be a good thing for us to try to attack her on, because I'm in Tennessee. I've been in Nashville a lot. People say that, like the things that she was saying, people say that about Nashville because Nashville has changed a lot in like 10 years.
Okay.
And the stuff, and like what she was talking about is like going down on Broadway. And if you've been to Nashville, you know, Broadway, what you're going to see are the bachelorettes screeching top of their lungs, drunk, and a little pedal thing. You know, they're going to be doing that. You're going to see, basically, they're trying to treat Nashville like Las Vegas. And a lot of the Nashville natives are kind of torn on the issue. Some like the growth, some don't like it. Some like the bachelorettes and Broadway, and some don't. So that's kind of a local issue that is kind of divisive a little bit.
Gotcha. And on that rent note, it's a fact that for every 1 million illegals that came into the country, rent increases by 1%. So when you look at what, some people say it was from 15 to 20 million. So you're talking about a 15 to 20% increase just from that. So I don't know if that guy knew about that, but, that's the case. Another thing that bothers me is, everybody's so impatient about affordability and things going down, man. It's going to take some time. He can't just snap his fingers and get it done. So I just tell people, be patient. You know what I mean? It'll happen.
Right. It's been 4 years since Biden was there. He was there for 4 years. So people expect Trump to come in and clean up all that mess in a day. But that's just not how it works.
Right. I was hearing, you know who Pete Navarro is?
I know what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so he was talking about how Biden killed them 100 million chickens.
Yeah.
And that caused the egg price and chicken prices to go up, but how chickens are, they breed faster, so you're able to get the egg prices, the chicken prices down lower faster. But it's, as far as cattle and stuff like that, it takes longer for a cattle to become a burger in your fridge. And how they're dealing with Brazil, as far as trying to negotiate for cattle and stuff like that. But if you educate yourself, you see, I mean, it's going to take some time. And I believe once that bill that he just passed goes through, I think things will get better.
Right, absolutely.
All right. Well, good talking to you, man. Keep it up, bro. Good show, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to you guys for calling tonight. You guys have been fantastic, but that'll be a wrap for me. I will see you guys again on the Instagram. Y'all know I'm on Instagram every Tuesday. If you're not on Instagram, just go ahead and get it. Go ahead and grab it. But Instagram, I'll be live on there every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to right around right now, maybe a little bit earlier. It's like 11:30 right now on the East Coast. But I'm there live every Tuesday. I'm live on YouTube Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here pretty much every day, putting out pre-recorded content, long form, short form, whatever. I got you on the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. And also, please follow me on the other platforms because there's some content I can post more on those platforms than I can on YouTube because YouTube is funny. They want things a certain way. But Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is a little bit more free. So follow me everywhere and you'll be able to see everything. Shout out to you, Decoy Voice. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for rocking with us tonight. But that will be a wrap for me. And we got some super chats on deck. I'll read these. Then I wrap it on up, put the bowl clean on top. But again, thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. We got a few trolls in here saying the most nonsensical gibberish, but I hope that we get the trolls under control the next time. But that'll be a wrap. Oh, also, this is an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description. Or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And I got super chats I'm going to read right quick. Thank you to Amp Draw for your donation. Thank you to Lothair, who says, there's been a few times in my past that I almost got serious trouble for friends and family for sticking up for them. Sticking to your principles is what makes a man. There we go. Right on. And thank you to Freeman for being a member. 72 months. I love it, man. Shout out to you. Longtime member who says, Ivan is the dish always served cold, as in DOA. Hey, I didn't say it. My man said it. But shout out to you, Freeman. And thank you to the white man for the super chat with the peace emoji right there. I thank you for that. Alrighty. I think that will be a wrap for me. You guys have been great tonight. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.